We're back. We are here for XG tonight. I have my co-host Alex and our other, again, special guest. You know you love her, Therese. Shout outs. Thank you for coming back, Therese.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't beat you up too much. That's what I'm gonna say. You guys be nice.
My
you
turn
watch.
tonight.
It's Alex's turn.
No, I read some of the comments. They weren't that bad.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
She's got thick skin, guys. That's good.
Brandon doesn't get it yet. They were
I don't get it.
They were tame. They were.
Okay. Well,
there are a few fandoms that you need to worry about, and I don't know if we've quite gotten there yet.
I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried if we get to those fandoms. So that's good. Well,
we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
more hating means more engagement, right?
Man, well, we were going to move on from that because I don't know how to really go about it. But we are talking about XG. I know this is one that everybody's been really excited for us to talk about, so I'm pumped to check out XG. I guess Alex can kind of give me a little bit of backstory on XG, how they started out, all that sort of stuff, because I like to know that. It's kind of fun. Do you have anything, Alex?
Yes, sorry, I was posting on I was posting about the stream.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the quick little rundown I'll give on XG. Basically they are a 7-member girl group based in Korea, but they are Japanese girls.
Oh, okay.
Under a company called XGalX, formerly known as X Galaxy, run by a producer named Jacobs, also known as Simon. You'll hear him referred to as both. He is a former member of K-pop boy group Dalmatian.
Okay.
Back in the day in Korea. Basically, he started this project several years ago. There's a documentary series on their YouTube page documenting their whole entire training period and their steps towards getting to be the group they are. And I guess, and Therese can kind of maybe confirm or add on to this, they have a bit of a different approach to K-pop, which is also, I think, that's already arguable for some people.
Okay.
They're a group. It's Japanese girls who are promoting and utilizing the K-pop system, and their music, their primary releases, their official releases are all in English.
Okay.
They're promoting on Korean shows. They're fluent in Korean. They're fluent to an extent in English. Their goal is to be a global group.
Ah, very sick.
As global as possible. They have song Left Right. One of their songs has gotten radio play in the U.S. They've done a lot of U.S. radio interviews. They're pushing hard to be a global group. So the way that they want to be referred to is, X-pop is a term that they use, but they also say global girl group when introducing themselves, not K-pop, not J-pop, etc. It's a little bit of like a talking point for a lot of people, but
I think the more and more as they continue their promotions, it's a little harder to tell them apart from K-pop, because I believe whoever created the group, they weren't exactly fans of K-pop, but or like they were fans of K-pop, but they didn't want to be in the K-pop system. They wanted to be different.
Sure, yeah.
But they're still going on music shows, and they're still reaching a widely Asian audience. And this is an example of how K-pop is used more for marketing than as a genre. So, yeah, considering the rest of the K-pop groups have been leaning towards this more easy listening, closer to Western pop sound, they're kind of fitting in, even though they started. I don't know if they started the trend, but they were early on the trend. So
Okay.
yeah, they're an interesting group. I really like how it's a Japanese girl group that sings in English promoting K-pop. It's so crazy.
It's really chaotic, and you're definitely right where they're very forward. Like everything they're doing feels like it's a little ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Especially if you're looking at it from like I think if you're looking at it from the lens of like K-pop companies or Eastern Asian companies wanting to push into the West, I think they're way ahead of it. If you're looking at it in a sense of like K-pop wanting to do more Western themes and more Western ideas, I think they're still kind of ahead of the curve.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the cool thing about them is that they're a group that has taken on a lot of different they've worn like a lot of hats so far.
Okay.
And they're very they're a very new group. They've only debuted a little over a year ago.
Oh wow. Okay, so this is their first like
they're very
major
new.
release. Okay.
Yes, this is their first EP, first mini album.
Okay.
That we're going to be eventually getting to today. There's a bunch of stuff to listen to. There's intro videos. There are some vocal and some ciphers we're going to get into. We're going to kind of like dive into all the stuff they've done aside from their title tracks, because they, like I said, they wear a lot of different hats in the industry and like in the music scene, where it's like they really do a good job as Gloria in chat, very R&B focused, which is, yeah, for sure. There's definitely a lot of R&B influence if you watch their behind the scenes videos or any of the recording, or you listen to like them talk in interviews about the kind of music they're into or like their influences. It's a lot of R&B. It's a lot of early 2000s. It's a lot of like like TLC kind of stuff, like stuff in that genre. And then you'll see as we get through some of the videos, there's a lot of hip hop influence. There's a lot of like a lot of different things they get into. There's some like neutro kind of stuff. There's yeah, they're kind of like all over. They're hitting a lot of different genres, which I think why they are seeing a lot of success. I mean, we've only seen, I think somebody mentioned in Discord today when I was checking that they hit 22,000 album sales first day today.
Oh wow!
Their first mini album, which is not a crazy number on face value, but that's only Japanese numbers. It's not Korean or international yet.
Oh, so wow!
Just being Japanese numbers, that means we're probably looking at really big sales. For like a first mini album from this group that everybody has been a little I don't want to say skeptical. Everybody's been really curious to see what sales numbers for a group like this look like.
Sure, yeah.
Because you don't know exactly who their audience is. You don't know if they're really hitting the K-pop market. You don't know if they're really hitting the American pop market. It's kind of
it's kind of a gamble.
It's hard to gauge before you see numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So seeing like 22K first day Japan looks really good. So I'm just curious to see where it goes from there. But before I get too into the nitty gritty of numbers and stuff, why don't we just start off with their intro video, which is XG Move number 1.
All right.
Which this is by the way, this is the first video where you get to see them
do their stuff
like up close.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like the first like introduction, kind of like up close, seeing them dance kind of performance. They'd only had like one small teaser before this, and this is like the first introduction.
Okay, sick. All right, XG Move number 1.
Yeah. They ain't gonna like
Interesting.
it. They ain't gonna like it. I've been getting to the money. Everybody mad. Think I'm getting too much money. Everybody mad. Everybody mad. Same moment on the block. Same moment with the pop. Same moment
That's cool.
I've been getting to the money. Money, everybody. Everybody man. Everybody man.
Okay, that was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Well,
Interesting.
Yeah. So obviously it's not like an XG song, but
Sure,
everyone,
yeah.
it's, you know, their intro to see that
Yeah.
this is the concept we're going with. These are girls, they can dance,
yeah.
and a little bit of an introduction to the kind of concept that they want to push, which is, I would say, like, especially early on with their stuff, was like, hey, we got this group of 7 badass girls.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Like
yeah.
the mystery of covering their faces,
Agreed.
because the first thing people like to look at in intro videos is like, oh, who's their cutest member, who's like the member that I think I'll like the most. But this one, they're really about like getting into the talent and the vibe
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Exactly. They're just like, hey, you don't need to see like who's who. We're just gonna show you all 7 of these girls
Yeah.
can dance.
Also, I like the
and
fact that it
they-
had. Oh, sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
I was just gonna mention they did release 2 more versions of XG Move, which is the same song, the same choreography essentially, but they did do them in different settings and without the masks. So there are
Oh.
versions of this that are different,
Hmm.
but this is the first one, so I felt like this is the appropriate one
Nice.
to show.
Yeah, I like the inclusion of like almost like trap metal a little bit. I thought that was really nice. I obviously coming that feels familiar to me, but yeah, I liked Therese's point on just wearing them like masks. I feel like that's kind of sick, and not gonna lie, it kind of gave me a little bit of like Mortal Kombat like type energy, and I respect that. So that was cool.
The energy definitely came through in the performance. And I mean, I know what their music sounds like. What kind of music are you expecting now?
What? Oh man,
question.
I feel like that. I have seen. I think Alex showed me one of the ciphers they did, so I don't know if that gives me any indicator on what it is, but I definitely feel like they kind of hit. I feel like there's not something they hit specifically. I think they just try to like pick something where they're like, we're gonna try this, and if it works, like that's cool. We actually just don't care. We're just gonna release stuff that we enjoy and that we like, and that's what I could kind of gather from it. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of the members are like into heavier music or what have you. I think I would have to take a check out of and see obviously a little bit more of their background, but yeah, this was sick. I think that's I don't know. I feel like I could definitely get more of the energy of the group versus maybe like a specific genre that I feel like they would hit. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely not too much to go off of
yeah,
on that other than the dance, but why don't we move from there and just get right into their debut track, which is
Chill Bill. Is it? It's not. That's what's next on the list here.
Yes.
So okay.
Yes, you are right. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Here's what
So
wanted to make sure.
yeah, you're right. So this is basically a cipher. They have these tapes
Mhm.
that are essentially ciphers. This is the first one where they're showcasing 2 of the rappers, Jurin and Harvey. It's a very interesting video. I don't want to like say anything or give away too much, but basically you'll, I think, be able to pick the members apart, especially in this, very, very easily. They have both have very unique different tones. Jurin is the first one who raps in the cipher, and she is the leader of the group.
Okay.
And then Harvey, the other one, is just a very unique vocal tone. She's half Australian, half Japanese. She's definitely very like visually noticeable. Like you I don't think you'll forget who Harvey is. She's, I think, one of those like standout visual members.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
yeah, we can roll into this whenever you want.
All right.
looks deceiving. What I am, making babbles, bobbing babble. Apex of the hard ice skin. Slam bars, hit a lit, killer slick. Pyro on the beat, bars got flames. Cyberpunk, neon lights in your mind. When I rhyme, make your eyes dilate. Fly for a purpose, mom's gotta eat, and a girl gotta live. Eat. Ride for the tribe, I'ma die for the tribe, cause a girl gotta leave. Eat. Cry about a man, please. Married to the plan, get it. Tunnel vision through the neon glow. Bust a flow, what you see and fall. Ay, 이치니선 속고 get it done, it's a freestyle. Running shades, 마지막부시 나 맨 너마의 킬라 시대 밀라이가 yeah. この先なら limitless. Negativity は全て eliminate. 気がついたら達してた異次元。これなら easy game. Nobody can imitate, no. Cheer me up, cheer me up. まだ足りないまだ足りない。さざ波から big crave バトルも憎とすら感じる瞬きが Don't wanna miss it, no. Don't wanna miss it, no. 出て毎回全てがハイライト Wow. 突き抜けた先ある世界確かめたいな I'ma share you around with the land, no Ellis. Push down, make it feel black, no malice. But the when your ass got clean, it's a habit. Stone cold when the flip, boys gotta have it. Young bottom balls with it. Amy got a false and a penny for your thoughts. Your gimmicks flow when my chit chat's closed like a big cat. Punchlines make you run it back, no tenant. Throw that gas and I throw right past my Wisconsin.
Ooh, interesting.
Straight forget your book gas when my lights turn CeeLo green. Rat race funny when I'm mugging all the cheese. Ask when it's 20 cause I get it from my G's. This life tastes got too, yeah, pay the fees. I'ma get it how I live, yeah, I be doing me.
I like how they're just walking up a bunch of steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine how tiring this video shoot is.
It'd be nuts.
Just walking upstairs.
Just
Like, all right, we're gonna shoot that again. That
Yeah.
Let's do another one.
Actually, we didn't get it. The camera was not running, so we're gonna have to walk down the steps.
Yeah,
Do it all
let's
over
run
again.
that one from the top.
Oh man. No, that was
Very
cool.
cool. Very minimal in a good way.
Yeah, it's so minimal, and I think that's exactly what they're going for in these ciphers. Is just like
Hmm.
getting what they want to show across, like having visuals there to stimulate, but like, you know, showing off what they want to show off. No extra like bells and whistles. you know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I think that's kind of what I noticed immediately, and obviously, I'm sure once we get into their actual material, and that I mean, not to say that this isn't, but like the more music video, the more like things that I would expect, the like high energy, like high production value. I do appreciate what both of you said in regards to like how it's so stripped down and allows you to kind of again make your way through the track a little bit more. I think it also ultimately made me focus on both Jurin and Harvey a little bit more vocally. I will point out Alex did mention that Harvey does have like a unique tone, and I would 1000% agree with that. You could immediately tell like when she comes in and like the different like rap tonality that she has along with like her singing part. Like she did like a little blurb of singing, and I thought that was interesting. So I would be curious to see how far out or how far reaching they all kind of go. And I imagine obviously with these like more cipher things, it allows them to kind of break off and do their own thing where you're like, okay, I can focus on Jurin or I can focus on Harvey, and like really distinguish amongst like the 7 of them to be like, oh, okay, I know who that is, I know who that is, I know who that is. Where I feel like in maybe other K-pop tracks, I'm like, who is actually singing? Unless I'm like really, really intently listening, I'm not like really deciphering that. Where I feel like in this case, it's very clear cut and you can pretty much figure it out.
Yeah. Cool.
I think
Well-
what they also showcased was their use of English and how
Yeah.
you can tell they're fluent because they're able to rap with a tone of the English words using their context, because that's what misses a lot when K-pop adds rap to their music is like they'll say English words, but it's not like at a cadence that you're used to hearing, so it doesn't quite sound right. And this sounded perfect. Like even when they switched into Japanese, it was still like understandable.
Yeah, there's
So-
something about their ciphers, which is like their ciphers are genuinely, I think when they the only time they will flow between 3 languages, which would be Japanese, Korean, and English, at times, it's really impressive the flow that they have between all 3 languages. Sometimes it's like almost unnoticeable. It's super impressive,
Ooh.
and it definitely, I think, is a lot of credit is owed to Simon Jacobs, their producer, head of the company, head of the group. Really, he really does a good job of like being hands-on, and like part of the documentary was him going to Atlanta to like song camps and like working with producers in the studio, and like being really hands-on with all their music early on, like before debut even, like going and just like shopping songs and stuff. So it's definitely a lot of credit, I think, to him having an idea like from the get-go of what he wanted to do with the group, and like how he wanted to present their like multilingual aspect and like their fluency and stuff, because that's definitely something that isn't like, you don't go in the studio and just say like, hey, we're gonna do some English lines and then like slip into like Japanese for this line. Like, it's definitely like a long planned out,
Oh, for sure.
like purposeful way of writing these songs or writing these ciphers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's with intent.
So that's just
yeah.
cool.
I would agree with that. I also appreciated the beat choice was great too. I think that was really what kind of again sold Jurian and Harvey in terms of the cipher. So I also enjoyed that as well. But I think it makes me excited to figure out the other members and kind of see how everybody fits into place. So I think it's time to move into the next one, which we have
Let's go into the next
XG Vox 1 Peaches. So
Yep, so this is with Juria and Chisa. They are our main vocals of the group. Chisa is technically also the sub leader. She's the oldest in the group, earning her the sub leader role. And that's pretty much it. Let's just get right into it.
all right.
I got my peaches out in Georgia. I like the trees in California. I took my man up to the north, yeah. I get my labor from the source, yeah. Oh, say, oh, it's the way I breathe you in. It's the texture of your skin. I wanna wrap my arms around you, babe. Never let you go. And I say, oh, there's nothing like your touch. It's the way you lift me up. Yeah, and I'll be right here with you. I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. I like the trees in California.
180.
That's that shit. I took my man up to the north. I'm a badass bitch. I get my light right from the source. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, you ain't sure, yeah. But I'm for you.
Just to clarify, it's Chisa on the right, Juria on the left.
Nights alone that we miss more. Days we save souvenirs. There's no time, I wanna make more time. And give you my whole life. I left my boy, I'm in my Yorker. Hate to leave and call it torture.
They're just trading off. It's wild.
Lift your baggage for we more. Yeah. Got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. I like the trees in California. That's that shit. I took my man up to the north. I'm a badass bitch. I get my light right from the source. Yeah. I get the feeling, so I'm sure. Hand in hand because I'm yours. I can't pretend I can ignore. You're right from me. Don't think you wanna know just where I've been. No, don't be distracted. The one I need is right in my arms. Your kisses taste the sweetest with mine, and I'll be right here with you till the end. I got my peaches out in Georgia. Georgia. Oh yes, shit. I like the trees in California. That's that shit. I tell my man up to the north, I'm a badass bitch. I get my light right from the source, yeah, yeah. I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yes, shit. I like the trees in California. That's that shit. I tell my man up to the north, I'm a badass bitch. I get my light right from the source, yeah, yeah. I get my peaches out in Georgia. I like the trees in California. I get my peaches out in Georgia. I like the trees in California, yeah.
Dang.
I wanna wrap my arms around you, baby, never let you go.
Insane.
Wow, I did not think that I could enjoy a cover of that song
I was
so
gonna
much.
say. Therese took the words right out of my mouth. Never would I thought,
Yeah.
man, that Justin Bieber cover,
Yeah.
great.
As soon as I was like, Peaches, please don't be.
I was like,
and
don't be it, that song.
delivered. It's still delivered. Dang.
Yeah,
I
it's a beautiful
love
cover.
Jodia's tone is so warm. It's so like
yeah.
if I were to describe, it's like a honey texture.
Yeah. I would agree. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I think I appreciate their ability to like commingle so well, like just where they were just kind of like trading off like melodies or like riffs or whatever.
Yeah,
And it
they,
didn't
they work very well together.
it's so effortless. So I like the fact that they are so like in the pocket musically, where I was just sitting there and I was just enjoying it, but also like kind of thinking like, wow, Juria and Chisa, like one's coming from one direction in terms of like the vocal run, like from like high to low, and the other one's coming from like low to high to like meet in the middle. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, why? I mean, not why wouldn't you do it? I mean, obviously it sounds great, but I ultimately was just like, could they fit any more like musical runs into this song that they hadn't already done already? Because I don't think you could. I think they utilized it super well, and we're still hitting like the normal bars of the song, where I was like, okay, I am by far in a way not a Justin Bieber fan. Y'all can come after me if you want, but like that's not my cup of tea.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, Alex. But I feel like this. I feel like they smashed this cover. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, were you gonna say something?
Nope. Go ahead.
I was gonna say part of why I like K-pop so much is because I love ensemble singing, just getting people in at different ranges, and they showcase a great range because I can tell Chisa will sound so good in a lower range, and if we can hit like all of those like high, middle, low points, everyone can sing, because that's the number one question is like, how are there 7 members? How does the song have enough time for everyone to sing? I'm like, they're all singing all the time. It's great.
Yeah, and something to point out is like, obviously we'll get there and you'll see, but like all 7 members of the group can sing.
Oh,
I would say all of them can sing. All of them can sing well. I'll even say that.
That's
but
wild.
Obviously, like Jerry and Sheets are main vocals for a reason. They're very, very talented. I think that there are even better examples of their singing talent further than this. But why don't we go into the next video, which I think is their debut song,
Tippy Toes.
Tippy Toes.
Oh,
What a name. What a name. All right, well, let's get into it. Is there anything I need to know about this song, Alex, or are we just jumping into it?
Nah, let's just go right in.
All right.
Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Watch the way we move, the way we work, the way we glow. They ain't ready for us, we about to wreck the game. On the back of us, they follow like a choo-choo train. This reality, yeah, we major league. Everything we do is worthy of a gallery. We gon' whisper to you super, super quiet, about to show 'em who's in charge, taking over with the pilots. Taking the lead, bringing the heat, yeah. Head to the sky, eye on the prize, yeah. We're on the rise, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ways I'm on die, gonna keep you on your tippy toes. 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 That's the way it goes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes.
Oh, that's cool.
Keep your change in your 2 cents. Bad girls on the rise, you a nuisance. Drop jars, tight tongues, and a nuisance. Got pushed out a queen, I'm in 2 cents. I spit the flow, then I catch a go. Snacking on the world, it's a bent to give me more. When I don't know it's sober with your silly toe. Here's a tip though, when I take it better, tippy toe. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. In the zone, try to stop us when we on the roll. Heard a match, ain't nobody got our energy. We unpack every part of where it's better me. We owning it, coming in boss mode, take control of it. They can't compete, yeah, we going for the crown group masterpiece, yeah. Taking the lead, bringing the heat, yeah. Head to the sky, eye on the prize, yeah. We're on the rise, you ain't seen nothing yet. Lace them on tie, gonna keep you on your tippy toes. 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 That's the way it goes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. We about to take flight, up a level. When we step on the scene, we super beam. Understand that we didn't come to play, babe. Here to dominate. I'ma keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna 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 keep you on your tippy toes. That's the way it goes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes.
All right, that was
Yeah.
Tippy Toes. Oh, Therese, have you listened to this one or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember watching the music video when it came out, and I forgot there was a lot of hype around XG. I forgot what the reactions were to this particular song, but it's just what we were expecting, like the sort of stripped down, like uh, it makes them stand out better as performers, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
Brandon, what are your first thoughts on the debut track? Tippy Toes?
I was a little surprised. I thought they were gonna. I feel like most groups, from what I've listened to currently, I feel like all of the songs that I've listened to, they like groups just come flying out the gate. They're just like, I'll hit you with everything and the kitchen sink, and that can be great. And I also feel like it also could be a detriment sometimes, because like you're like so in that mindset of like, this has to pop off. Like there has to be a moment in this song where they just go absolutely ape shit and just do it. Where I felt like in this song, I think the subtlety of it was really what made the track. Like I love the like really interesting like bass synthy sort of lines in it. It's very like rhythmic, very like vibey, a little dark in some parts, which I appreciate. I think musically it allows them all to kind of like speak in a different way, where I felt like maybe like Chisa and Juria, like where they had their moments to shine. Obviously, like every one of them kind of had a little bit, little moments where I was like, okay, this is cool. I didn't really feel like it was as powerful out the gate, but I feel like maybe they're just trying to like build to the next thing, where you're like, okay, what's the next thing? Like this is the first track, and typically I say this with like any of the heavier music that I listen to, like I never base a group off of like one song, because I feel like you can, especially with K-pop, I would say you can't really like pigeonhole a group to one song. So I'll hold my reservation for it, but I do feel like it was good. I think it would probably get better with more listens because I could tell like I was getting into it. The groove was good, the vibes were good, but I feel like this one might be a little bit more of a like dark horse kind of like. I wouldn't expect people to be like, this is my favorite track, but I feel like most
Right.
people will come around to it at the end and be like, nah, that was kind of good. I like that. That was fire, you know?
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give my hot take real quick.
Oh,
My hot take is this is a really bad debut. Because it was really contentious and it did not
live up to the hype.
deliver. I think it didn't deliver the hype people are expecting.
That's
and I
fair.
think the
Yeah.
song is good, and I think the video is good, and it's actually grown to be a very favorable track of mine. Where like I do enjoy listening to this track, just in my regular music rotation. I really do like it. I think it was just a little bit too much subversion of expectations.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And as a little bit too lean. It was leaning a little too into like the whole anti-drop, the whole anticlimactic music
I was gonna say, yeah.
thing when it seemed like they were building up to something more climactic. Where I think like this song would stand really strong as a B-side or stand really
Fair
strong
enough.
as like a pre-release for a future release. But I think as their standalone single debut, I think it left people a little more confused than it did excited.
That's fair. Yeah. I could see
I would
that.
agree
Well,
with that. And
yeah.
I'll kind of build off of that because I remember when the debut happened, but I didn't add the song to my playlist or anything because it didn't interest me much. I think it was more of a good in-between track to listen to in between like really high energy songs if you want a little dip. But then I actually remember people were comparing a different song that came out after this to this song, and that was Fearless by Le Seraphim, which is much better known and I think was a lot more interesting. So I would listen to Fearless all the time and I could hear the similarities, but I would still prefer more of Fearless, which was a lot more maximal sound mixing. And
It also had a lot more
yeah.
movement to it.
Yes. So this was a really great, like the beat was perfect. Like they did a really great job with Tippy Toes. But yeah, it didn't live past Fearless for me. I still really like it. I really like that they showcased all the members, but I think that they were better showcased in their ciphers because I know
Fair,
now
yeah.
what their talent is, and this didn't really show that. So good song. Not great debut. I think I'll agree with that.
I will say the choreo was cool, especially like the
Yes.
lean in. I was like that was kind of
Yeah.
hard. Like they didn't have to do it, but they
Yeah.
did it, you know. And I gotta
They
give them kudos.
They never disappoint on the choreo.
They showed up, yeah.
Mhm.
They showed up. I
And
gotta give them that.
Just to catch up, Gloria in chat said Chisa and Juria vocal relief and bridges are always the best part, and that they only listen to this track for the bridge, which is of course Chisa and Juria. Which I can agree with. They are definitely the most interesting part of the song. I think it's
Mhm.
like the most. I think the only time that the song deviates from itself is the bridge.
I would
Right.
agree. Yep. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, in K-pop or what they're trying to go for, you need deviation in your music, right? You need your music to change and take interest. And you need members to be noticeable and to have different parts and show their personalities and their tones and everything. You need some kind of differentiation in the music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you only listen to the debut, you would probably have no idea who any of the girls are in this video other than Chisa and Juria and maybe Harvey because of her tone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It does.
And that's,
Yeah.
I think, a little bit of a problem.
I would agree. I think it leaves some to be desired, especially since we watched the two ciphers and there's still more members that I didn't know. And I was like, well, obviously I know they're in XG, but I was like, I don't know what their talents are. So I imagine at some point we'll delve more into that. I'm kind of surprised they did like the Juria Chisa, like, you know, like showcase, and then obviously showed off like the rappers, but then there were some members that like didn't get their own, I guess, like cipher or like something to like highlight them. So I find that a little strange in like the concept of like if you're trying to like show off people within your group, I'd imagine you'd want to try to like get everybody to have something so then people can like have a fandom towards like one specific member of the group or like it just, to me, that as just like somebody who likes group like bands, like to me it's like, okay, there's this one part where like this screamer does things and I'm like, well, yeah, that's great, but you also have like, you know, a guitar player or a bass player or a drummer that can sing, like, but you're not even highlighting them. It's like, okay, cool, like I know they have pipes, I know they can sing, like why aren't you showing them off in some capacity?
So
you know,
I will say we did you know, we're not covering every single video they've
yeah.
uploaded. There are individual member videos they did release prior to this where they are showcasing the members individually. And so there are, you did get to see the other members before this. They did not have their own separate ciphers or like vocal videos, but they weren't, yes, they didn't have their own full-on like video, but they weren't flat out ignored.
Yeah, unfortunately, K-pop is a little more unbalanced, where they know who their popular members will be.
Okay, fair enough.
And they will utilize them more or give them more lines, and that creates an entire like discussion on line distribution. But they know what they're doing because they know that these two rappers and these two singers are going to be really popular.
That's fair. Yeah.
I will say I will not to like get too ahead of myself, but I will say they've done a fantastic job of shifting that.
Okay, well that's good.
Right, because the more you explore different concepts, the more people or the more other people's talents will shine better. So
yes,
yeah,
certainly.
So let's just get into the next one. The next one would be their second single. It is called Mascara. They released it, I think, 4 months or so after their debut.
Okay.
So they put out one song, and then 4 months later, second song.
I love this song.
Is that pretty common,
Me too.
Alex?
Me too.
Is that time frame a pretty common timeline? Like after the first debut song, do they like? I'm just curious on that. Maybe me being a nerd about it, but
it really depends. I think for like if they debuted with one song, then yeah, 4 months is a pretty normal to put out another one. If they debuted with a mini album, maybe it would be a little longer. Kind of depends. I feel like the average timelines seem to kind of always be fluctuating a little bit.
Okay.
But you also have to factor in they kind of, especially recently, have done releases and timelines differently in general.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was common for new K-pop groups to release 2 mini albums per year. So,
oof. God bless.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's a lot.
They're a little bit different. They're a little bit different in the sense where they just released their first mini album today, so they have been they've been slow dripping a lot of music. That's the best way I can describe it.
As of late, we're getting more quality and less quantity.
A drip feed. I love it. All right. Well, let's get into Mascara right now.
Yeah, let's get into it.
XG. Ladies. You ready? Hi, how you do? Gonna tell them, baby, how we do. XG, cute and nice, but we don't never let you mess up twice. Have you ever had you with the lies? Better never hit him with the lies. Yeah, if you ever made you cry, I got advice. Baby girl, don't you ever be wasting your good energy. He ain't even worth it. No, we don't deserve it. What goes around comes back around. And when it do, better fix your crown. So when it comes knocking, what you gonna do? Are you gonna let him stay?
Okay.
Are you gonna let him stay? Tell him no, not today. Or you gonna get it? Are you gonna let him stay? Are you gonna let him stay? Ladies, what we gonna say? Let another boy grown in mascara. This my party. I cry when I want to. Cry when I want to. Don't mess with my mascara. This my party. I
music. Okay.
Don't feel like a suplex. On the coupe, I'ma feel like chop, chop, chop. Got a jet. Go, girl. She me like a winner. Go, girl. You know you a stunner. Go, girl. Show him how to come up. Fight over what? Who you freaking matter? Yeah. Baby girl, don't you ever be wasting your good energy.
Flex.
She ain't even worth it. No, we don't deserve it. What goes around comes back around. The when it do, better fix your crown. So when it comes back in, what you gonna do? Are you gonna let him stay? Are you gonna let him stay? Tell him no, no, not today. You gonna get it? Are you gonna let him stay? Are you gonna let him stay? Ladies, what we gonna say? Like another boy room in mascara. This my party. I can cry when I want to. Cry when I want to. Don't mess with my mascara. This my party. I can cry when I want to. Cry when I want to. Don't mess with my mascara. And when you find me, I'm not the baby who treats the
Switch it up in the bridge. I love it. All right.
You're gonna cry me a little, baby, but I'll waste another single minute on you. I can cry when I
Nice.
Are you gonna let him stay? Are you gonna let him stay? Tell him no, no, not today. You gonna get it? Are you gonna let him stay? Are you gonna let him stay? Ladies, what we gonna say? Like another boy room in mascara. This my party. I can cry when I want to. Cry when I want to. Don't mess with my mascara. This my party. I can cry when I want to. Cry when I want to. Don't mess with my mascara.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I. That's all I gotta
It's
say.
so
I don't have
it's so
to-
interesting. So now that I'm watching them back to back, because I have listened to, I think, all of the XG songs up until the most recent album that came out today. And I haven't watched them all together or listened to them all together. But now I'm seeing the Tippy Toes idea, where if I think about it as like a pilot for a TV show, that was the pilot. And this is like the first episode.
That's a good way to put it.
Like maybe they were trying to get more investors and now they have all the investors and all the money they want to make this.
Yeah, this song just hits. It's so good.
hits.
It's like full of attitude.
Oh
The
yeah.
choreo is great. It's hype where it needs to be. The rap sections are good.
Oh yeah.
You got a great like a great like break in the bridge,
The
there.
bridge. Yeah.
And then that third chorus comes back and hits you with like the double time on the post chorus.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
I think this was the
Yeah,
song they should have let off
it's-
with.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can probably speak for a lot of people that are fans of XG now that this was a song that hooked me on them personally.
I would agree,
I
yeah.
remember seeing Tippy Toes, Tippy Toes coming out, being, interested but not invested. And this song was like okay, I'm locked in. Like I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on what they put out,
What were you gonna say, Therese?
I think it's interesting because I usually hate songs that are very one note, where the chorus is just like da 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 da.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I think this song switches it up to different one note choruses so often that it's okay. Or definitely the attitude and the stage presence, they're pulling it off. But when I first heard it, like it was kind of an awful reaction. And then the more I was listening, the more I was like, you know what? I can kind of dance to this. And it became this sort of separate area of my brain that just listens to stupid music. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like the music that isn't Grammy Award winning, but you want to hear it when you're putting on makeup, and that's what this is. It's
Maybe
the perfect
Mascara.
like.
Oh my god. Oh, did we lose Therese? Did I lose everybody? Oh god.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
we're here.
Oh, okay.
Are you
sorry.
still here?
I was
Oh,
still.
okay.
I'm still here. We hit a little bit of a snag.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. This one I just feel like this was the full force song that I was looking for. and they definitely delivered on this track. I feel like there's something special about this song where I agree with Therese. It's like it checks the dumb boxes in my brain where I was like, yeah, I like hard beat, cool, favorite, rap, yes, like rap, rapper's favorite, you know. I have to stick with my, you know, my motif of being the rappers being my favorite, you know.
Well, good. Let's use that as a segue into the next video, which is their cipher that I would say like broke them out.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know what like the best way to say it. This is the cipher
Their
that
breakout
I think
moment
got them a lot of viral success, a lot of viral videos, TikToks, like YouTube reactions. This is like their
the pop off.
This really helped them elevate. So
yeah,
you like rappers.
I do. That's been my trope. You've been pointing it out, so I feel obligated.
You've got 4 rappers in this group, so
it's gonna be difficult. Sir. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll close my eyes. I'll pick one. All right, this one is Gal's cipher. Is that correct?
Yep, tape number 2. Yep.
All right, let's rock.
I know I can't afford to stop for one moment. That it's too soon. C to the OCO and AB popping on the made weights. Who would have downloaded then would turn up on it like a fadeaway. He for the don't get lazy flow. When I'm away, no play, no games. Hold up, let me just play my throw quick. Okay. Let it know, body did never win that. The motori nashi uchira mo take it the one. But that not has not like us. Cold, be the new genesis. Stage cock, I got flicking the wrist. Comedy show, we go put on to rest. Taking the L's and giving the F's. 차원이 달라 The one we're hunting with fat money power Rap at the comes on a cosplay 어리버리 따위도 지나나 내 파르트 눕힌 나 rotten tomato 나 파랗게 대파 눈에 붓게 주는 바람직한 건 너 재미라 Surrounded by sound that we made it C to the OCO and AB popping on the made waves Who would've thought we'll turn it on it like a fadeaway Here for the don't get lazy flow When I'm away no play no games Hold up, let me just play my throw real quick Okay I know
Too hard.
Taking no L's and giving no F's. Oh,
flex.
That was Kona. This has been Aya.
The eye patch flex. All right.
맞다 스스메의 story next page 다른 못하더리 튀던 night stage Whether you're ready or not, it's now or never We gon' do this, yo Tiptoeing all around the globe Leaving tracks to the Tokyo Only spit facts while this cap and ass cap is acting to Pinocchio Never lacking, never slacking Lights, camera, action, we gon' smash it I open it at like the grand finale Me going dramatic, can even imagine it might be on the come up While they going down bad 너네도 열심히 해본 난 많아 어차피 또 한숨만 해 Yeah, I got bars that psycho drip down to the last drop on the mic go my name 라고 얕보다가 너네 왕관 숨삭게 꿰놓 typo Underdog, pre-G-O-D This ain't trending, it's a VIP Elevating on a daily basis No cloud chasing, cliche, clickbait I am not like you, know what I try to 애가 있다 vision 지가 웃사이즈 fame with a fortune 수단이 가릴 때마다 스스메를 기카쿠 We on the come up While they going down bad Ayy, 너네는 꿈을 우린 아직 창창해 Ayy, we on the come up While they going down bad Ayy, 너네는 꿈을 우린 아직 창창해
So fluid. Oh, kudos.
She was the one leading in Mascara, right? I don't know.
Metal sticking up, they don't wanna die. My mama proud, but it's not enough. 쓰러다기 바보달라 says it once. 우린 never shock and pick up on it. I wanna born, yeah. Hobby, the real Holly, best believe that ain't no joke. Ha, cover dances, we body proudly. Yeah, I need to take notes. Yeah, everything we solid, white, everything we just singles. Yeah, I'm not tryna be the next so and so, but we catching up on them close. Ain't no pause button on me, ain't no problems stressing on me. Now I don't pick and choose, I just show and proof, maintain the same energy.もう分かったように字の前は必ず X 忘れないで。数字上がる合図は1みんなが言う素晴らしきもうチーム Yeah, gotta keep winning, that's a Elon Musk. Gotta live like the Beyonce knows. 死にやすげゆけんじgo光り輝く 24K go. 着올라가는 값어치 우 계속도로 우린 새롭게 우 누가 막아 우리 감히 누구 I'm winning I'm winning 난 누가 보여.
Hey, Harvey.
Harvey, yeah, pull up.
My personal bias.
Julian got the 5 flame flavor. When the spice kicks, your taste
this
the
goes
game
hard.
changer.
Okay.
Big words coming out of them, no brainer, but I just can't cut it. We're sick on the top, break the zone, no. Don't be bitter, be better, keep better, keep that in me. I'ma go get him, yeah, the plot keeps ticking in. What a clock's ticking, then I'm sicker than a set for spitting in a pen. I'm like, woo. In the beast, in the queen beast, in the woo. Looks be deceiving, that I mean either. Never miss a beat, freaking misdemeanor. My girls with me out of leading, I get lit with it. Too blunt to be modest 今までの全てまるで振りだね溢れるノイズかき分ける手話数 Mommy pick a punch on a rap goddess Too hot to cool off, na 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 Too hot to cool off, na 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 Too hot to cool off, na 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 X marks the spot but the girls gon' Judy ma 최대한 바라면 눈치 내가 왜 굳이 따라야 해 너네 규칙 자꾸 위만 떨어져 내 톡식한 부심 미슐랭 스타 던져 슈리켄 소십 When they see you they go Johto When they see me they go Moto ay, ay, When they see you they go Johto When they see me they go
Little jazz break randomly.
I like the transitions between the vibes.
That is hard. I gotta give him that. It's a hard look.
Yeah.
I will
That's a-
say,
that's a
you can tell that they're still kind of rookies because it was the most awkward just standing or sitting around. Like, there was no movement. That's the one thing that, like, stuck out. But, oh my gosh, the
It was
flows are
like that.
so
It was
good.
like
And
this.
you're right, going between languages, they don't even, like, yeah. Yeah, just like that.
Like,
Perfect lip
there's, like-
sync, but zero
there's, like,
body.
no- there's like no thought in their like language transitions.
Yeah. Which is crazy because even when you're talking to people, you switch languages, either your tone or like your key will change, but they're just doing it like whatever.
I just like how they're like the subtle flex of just switching between like different languages and how like just fluid it is. And also to rap on top of that, which is like it already is difficult, and I agree with Therese, it's already difficult already to just open your mouth and say stuff, but for the sheer fact that you open your mouth and say stuff in 3 different languages and also rap it,
Yes.
you deserve the
Their lines are so good too. Everything they say, it's like it's girl power. This is real girl power.
This is true
like,
girl power, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so much like double entendres and like
Yeah.
and, like there's so much like reference and like inside jokes and like stuff slipped in that like the lyrics are very like well thought out.
Oh, yeah.
It's super impressive.
Are they writing any of their raps or anything? Is it someone else?
I'm pretty positive that they did not take part in the writing of these raps.
Honestly, I'm not upset. It's so
Yeah.
good that I'm not upset, you know?
Also for
Yeah,
the
I
sheer
mean,
fact that somebody has to write it out in like Korean and also Japanese and also English and all of it like not seem like, I don't want to say campy because that's not the right word, but like they
Yeah.
basically
That's the right
just
word.
okay, that's the right word. Yeah, all right. Well, it doesn't seem campy. It seems like they're actually just like, let's just kick you in the balls because we can in 3 different languages, you know?
And it's all like semi-relevant language because a lot of times when people speak English and they learned English a long time ago and moved countries or something, it's out of date. with the slang, I guess, especially if you're rapping. I
Oh.
will say Jorin's tone sounded so similar to Doja Cat. Her flow.
I could see. I could. Yeah.
It was.
Okay,
It was.
okay.
Yeah. I was. As soon as she started, I was like, I just listened to this album this morning.
Yeah, she has a very similar. I think in like my vague familiarity with Doja Cat, I feel like they ride beats in a similar way.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
bitch, I said what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be famous than dead.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I think that like for having a group with 4 rappers, it sounds crazy, right? Like no
yeah.
K-pop group really has 4 rappers. You usually have 1 at most 2.
Yeah.
But for them to have, I think, 4 very identifiable rappers is cool because
Agreed. Yeah.
anytime I hear an XG song, any of their songs, like their normal releases where they have singing and parts and stuff, I can tell who's rapping, no issue, because not only do they have like distinct voices, obviously you could pick out Harvey, obviously you could pick out, I think Kokona has a very unique tone.
I would
as well.
agree. Yep.
But regardless of their tone, just their rap style and like their cadence and their flow and how they like are given their parts and how they like, you know, ride a beat or how they take different approaches to parts are very unique as well, which is got to be really hard to do with 4. I mean, not all of them are rapping every song, but I mean, having 4 rappers has to be hard to make that distinction and to give them their own unique identities, you know?
I think like having different tones in rappers, it's more common in K-pop. I think the difference is a lot of K-pop rappers are not like well-trained rappers.
That's fair. I could
So-
say. I could
Well,
agree with
let's
that.
be real. A lot of rappers in K-pop didn't set out to be rappers.
Right.
Correct.
It's usually like a lack in vocal performance that pushes them more towards rapping. But whoever trained these girls needs to get into the rest of like the big 3 industries and train the rest of the rappers out there. Like, it's so
Big
good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's so hard to pick a bias in terms of all 4 of them because I think I thoroughly enjoyed all of their each individual cipher. I think this cipher just proved how arguably how versatile Harvey is because like she started off singing and then she cut into like doing a rap part and I was like, okay, that's cool because I don't feel like a lot of, at least from what K-pop groups I listen to, I don't feel like groups have been as fluid of making that transition from like I'm singing now to doing I'm rapping now, and then also to, again, as I mentioned before, cycle through 3 different languages and still kind of keep that same sort of like energy, that same sort of vibe. I think that's what really, I would argue, would separate them from other K-pop groups in that way, where I feel like if you were to listen to, you know, insert K-pop group that isn't XG, you'd be like, oh, okay, this is like the rap part, as you guys mentioned, like is good for the song, but I do feel like each individual woman in this group that does the rapping, like I feel like they're all, you can individually like map out and be like, oh, this is sick, like I definitely like this is like my bias, I like this person a lot. And like I think there's an individuality between this group that I would argue other groups don't have as well, or have taken a little bit more time to find that individuality, where I feel like right out the gate you could tell each member individually and be like, oh, okay, that's Jurin, or that's Harvey, or that's Maya, you know, like that's it was very cool. And I think that I appreciate the fact that they do these ciphers as well too, because then I think that further instills that like they're all individual people in this group, but because they're all together, like you can experience them as a full package because they all crush it.
Yeah, and just to say, like, whoever in their company decided to go this route with like doing these ciphers and showing off their musical abilities like outside of their tracks, like golden decision.
Get them
Like,
a
what
raise or
smart
her a raise,
decision.
whatever. Yeah, them
Like,
a raise.
Yeah, whoever made that call, maybe it was Simon, maybe it was someone else in the company. I don't know. They hit the nail on the head with what they were looking for, because this, to transition us into the next song, this came out in November. It went absolutely viral. You had like big YouTube reactions, like all over the place. You had people like sharing on TikTok. You had Jackson Wang reacting to it, like hyping them up. I think who else was doing that? There was like an 88 Rising video where they had like some people from 88 Rising.
That's wild.
Millie was the other one.
Yeah.
So it was Millie and Jackson Wang, like basically like hyping the girls up, being like, "This is crazy. This is the future. Like these girls are gonna be on top." And especially that first verse from Coconut, just
Coconut,
went
yeah,
absolutely
shout-outs.
crazy. Went absolutely crazy on the internet with people like, "Yo, this girl is like 16 at the time, I think." I could be
Wow.
a little off there.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I'm a little off. So young and like delivering like crazy bars, like
Yeah,
regardless
crushed
of whether
it.
she wrote it or not, just like the cadence and delivery is so impressive.
I was
So-
gonna say, like, I'll go ahead and pick a bias right now. It's Coconut. So, like, she stuck out to me in Mascara too when she was rapping in front of that basketball hoop, and I was like,
Woo! flex, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Yeah,
That's gonna be. I feel like by the end of this, I'm gonna have a hard time picking a bias. I think it might be Harvey though. Just I'm gonna say it just as a front runner, but
That's good. I'll say the only member we haven't seen in their own light so far has been Hinata.
yeah.
She is a vocalist in the group, not a main vocalist, but she's a vocalist. She's a really strong dancer.
Okay.
Very strong dancer.
We'll have to point her out.
She just hasn't had her own. Yeah, she was blonde in I believe the
Mascara.
first two
Oh,
title
okay.
tracks. I think you'll notice her once you're more familiar with all the other girls now.
Sure,
She's
yeah.
very she's great. She's like very she's got like a kept to herself, like quieter persona to her, and there I know that there were some reasons to why she wasn't like in stuff or like having too many lines or like too many things before their debut or like earlier in their careers, because she had expressed to the company that she like wasn't fully confident with like the English and everything, and I know there was like a little bit of a hesitation with her pushing as hard as the other members with like some of the other content, not to disparage her
Downplay.
at all. She's doing
Yeah,
great
yeah,
now. She's
yeah.
fantastic.
That's awesome. Well,
So
shouts to her.
yeah, so this cipher came out in November of last year, and then they rode on some viral success, and then January they put out this next title track,
Shooting Star, baby.
Shooting Star, which I sort of kind of signify as like the little bit of like a new era for XG.
Oh, okay.
This
Also,
is
I look
actually
at
my
this as
favorite
like
song.
this is like the next chapter, I think.
What'd you say, Therese?
No, this one's gonna be my favorite. No, this one's gonna be my favorite song.
I feel like that's there's a common trend that's gonna happen. Also,
Yeah,
shout outs to
I'm gonna keep saying
Shakedowns for the follow. Thank you for following.
Everything I do it A1, flawless. Make them go insane, pandemonium, buy it. Always looking fresh, got the green in my diet. Head to my toe, shining like canary diamonds.
Little auto-tune action. All right.
Not into it, going stupid, saucing. We a movement, never losing. Making moves, stay poppin'.
Giving my all, will it pay off? Working overtime, no days off. All these shooting stars in the dark. All these shooting stars in the dark make a wish. Take it all from the ground. It's
This music
amazing.
video is wild too.
This world, I'm in space, now I'm going up. Heading to the stars, we done tread it up. For another life, no. Yeah, we running,
Ooh.
so shining for sure. Ooh, I am looking so lavish. only this stunt, ha. Cause we cool and suit and booty just for fun, ha. You couldn't run up on me, I'm too out of this world. I got that spaceship jumping ready for my lunch. I don't care for my bread, I'm just going dumb. I ain't tryna fire shots, but they do it all.
I know they're watching me. I'm on a wannabe. Nobody touching me. I got this energy.
Baby boy, giving my all, will it pay off? Working overtime, no days off. All these shooting stars in the dark. All these shooting stars
This
in the
pre-chorus
dark.
is tight. All right.
Take it off
It's
from the
so
ground,
good.
it's amazing. It's so out of this world, I'm in space now. I'm going up, heading to the stars, couldn't tread it up for another life now. Yeah, we ride it on low. So shining, you're shining for sure. Ooh, boy, I'm looking so lavish. Ooh, boy, put it one like it's a habit. It's a big move. Every day's like a dream, making big moves. Yeah, we do it for a team. Ooh, boy, I'm looking so lavish. Ooh, boy, yeah, I bet you can't imagine. Oh, you're rocking with a dream team. Call me stripping when we hit the scene. Oh, you're rocking with a dream team. We're shooting from another galaxy. And you know we take it all the way. Lights and camera action is just how we live. Don't get it to see this in time, babe. Just know that X is going on. Ride it, so shining for sure. Shining, so lavish. Ooh, I put it one like it's a habit. Big move. Every day's like a dream, making big moves. As a chic, as a queen.
Yeah.
Looking so lavish. Oh, yeah, I bet you can't imagine.
That was wild.
Good. It's so good.
Too good.
Woo!
Every time I hear it, I still get goosebumps.
The melodies on this were wild. Love it.
Oh, the opening, like you immediately know that you're in for a ride.
The music video, I feel like you won't fully get this song unless you watch the music video. I get it now.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
get
my
it.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, my quick 2 cents about the music video, like before we dive into the song, is holy shit. The whoever was in charge of like the photography or like the videography direction,
I was
of,
gonna
like,
say.
some of the shots and the transitions and like just the angles of some of the shots are so interesting and like not what you
Yeah.
normally get in K-pop videos. So cool. And then I've also watched the behind the scenes video on this shoot as well. Dude, the amount of visual effects
I was
put
gonna say the
into some of
VFX,
stuff is
yeah.
crazy, but also I want to say the explosions at the end and all that kind of stuff were practical effects.
Oh.
Not all visual effects. So like they
Okay.
put budget and they like went in on this stuff.
Yeah.
Respect.
It shows.
Yeah. They popped off with this. This was like,
Yeah.
I thought Miss Mascara was a lot like visually. This one is like LSD shit here.
I'm-
like,
I'm worried that like it doesn't get better than this because it's just pinnacle. It is pinnacle like maximalist pop. I love the transitions in the video as well as in the music. Like it's so starch, but it works so well. It's like a pop art. If music had their own genres like art, well, I mean it does, but if it was an art genre, it would be pop art.
I knew what you
That was
meant,
really
Therese.
stupid.
No, I got you now.
If music had genre,
If music was music. I like how Therese went through the full meta version. She's just like, if music was music.
I'm hearing with my eyeballs. I'm feeling the
yeah.
beat with my fingers.
I'm listening with my ears. Yeah. I'm seeing with my ears. I'm, hearing with my eyes. Oh my god. I'm just waiting for somebody to come into this stream, and that was the part of the conversation they hopped into, and they're like, I need to get out. This guy's whack as fuck. No,
I'm still stuck in Kwangya, man.
You are stuck.
Never want to be stuck.
Yeah, no, definitely not there. No, this is Oh my god. The beginning part, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a hard track, and then they hit you with the rap immediately. I love that. I also love the again. I guess it was more of an homage to like current like rap and hip hop with like it being more like they definitely added a lot of like vocal effects and vocal layering onto it, a lot of auto tune, which I feel like some people either like or dislike, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. But then you get to the chorus and it's like this like sugary like pop kind of like explosion, and you're like, what the fuck? Like,
That's so cute.
It's very like R&B K-pop.
R&B K-pop, yeah, definitely,
Like
100%.
so the first thing I thought of instantly when I heard this for the first time, I'm like, oh my god, this is like an all-star Red Velvet chorus.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Wouldn't know.
It's just like it's smooth. Yeah, you would.
I gotcha.
But it's like smooth. It's got like the R&B flavor to it, where it's like really like smooth, and there's like
yeah.
Therese understands what I'm saying.
No.
Yes, it's just
Anybody listening probably understands what I'm saying. It's like got a very like ooh, just like vibe
Think
and
like-
R&B kind of like
think
jam
like
to it.
the "Welcome to My World" sound.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is
Okay.
infused into there, and it's very well done.
Yeah.
I will say on the topic of auto tune, I think this is a great example of how auto tune is used as a tool, not so much as like a fixing vocals things. Like
Correct.
it adds
Yeah.
more
Yeah, for
texture to
sure.
their voice, so it sounds better in this case because it's a little more robotic, I guess. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they do is basically when you apply autotune, you can dial up essentially how hard you want the cuts between notes to be.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
using it stylistically is you make those cuts really hard, so it's noticeable if you're going from a C to a F or something. You're gonna hear every individual instance like between them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's obviously like a stylistic choice, and I think that kind of ties back to what I was mentioning about Simon's approach to getting their music produced. Is from what I know, he did this song as well in a Atlanta-based song camp with a lot of like Grammy award-winning and like large producers in like the rap scene in like,
That
the
would make
North
sense.
American
Oh yeah.
rap scene. So there's definitely whether that had a direct influence on how they decide to stylize the vocals, who knows? But I would assume so. It's very SoundCloud rappy, Western rap.
But I think it worked well for like the K-pop sphere because the vocals are so, I don't know if you've noticed this, Brendan, but it's kind of grinding. Like
Yeah.
I have an entire K-pop playlist and I call it banger zip ties, and
Banger
that's
zip
the only way I can describe the vocal tone. Yeah, because Korean is a lot more nasally than English, so the voices sound a little more grating, but it's not always bad. It's just like textural differences, and this is a song that sounds really good with that textural difference. And then you get all of the like English flowy chorus parts.
I'm gonna have to start doing that as a
yeah.
Korean American. I'm gonna have to be real. I'm gonna just talk with talk real nasally.
Hey, maybe it'll help your Korean. I don't know.
I'd have
Put
to
the
start
voice in the back of the nose a bit.
Yeah, I would actually have to start doing that in order to. So we'll see.
Oh,
Step
okay.
one, baby. Step one.
When you
this is-
start learning, try speaking with a more nasal tone, and maybe it'll. I don't know.
They'll be like, wow, one of us. We love it. No. This was a great song. I definitely, as the piggyback on what Therese said about the autotune, I do feel like it's like very like Travis Scott, like Migos, like those like modern rapper kind of polish to it that I think if you come from that space, like I do feel like people can kind of find a lot of relation to that, or even like I would argue like especially more in the way that like the song is styled as well too. Like I definitely feel like it pulls from a lot of that sort of modern hip hop, modern like rap styling that's going on right now, but then also again having that like R&B like sugary K-pop sort of thing going on in the chorus. I think it'd be curious to see like if so I'd be curious to see if whether or not they would collaborate with like, you know, an American artist in that way, where I feel like it would be cool to see like maybe a cross pollination of like like, because there's definitely things musically that I hear in that styling that I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool if maybe somebody else featured on this song that's like more popular in America, and like kind of finding that middle ground. Wow, Alex is looking at me like I've maybe unlocked something. So I might be onto something. Who knows? I might be cooking.
Yeah, yeah, you sure are cooking, sir. So the next song we're gonna get into is called Left Right. It came out at the same time as Shooting Star. This was a back-to-back double release, I guess. This music video came out about a month after, maybe a couple weeks after. They released like a live clip, like a stage version of Left Right immediately, as soon as I believe as soon as Shooting Star came out, but it wasn't for a couple weeks until we got the music video for it.
Very sick.
So we can get into it. Left Right is the song that got US radio play.
Rock.
So I would say as far as like hitting a little bit more of like a general public US radio mainstream audience, this is probably like their song.
Big moves.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
go ahead.
Let's go. Hell yeah, I love Star Wars.
I got what you want, I got what you need. My baby don't follow anything. Oh, left, right, get it on the floor. I wanna see you left, right, get in my zone. Ha. Then we hit the slide, ready for the swing. We don't want no ops, want no drama queen. Left, right, everywhere we go. We pull up from the left, right, busting up slow.
I'm a one gotcha. With the ride, I'm switch lanes like this. Spin it out and flip. Cruising down like we be on a trip.
Boy, just follow my flow, don't matter where we go. Oh, the only direction I know. Want your body swerving left, right, left, right.
Oh.
I want your body moving left, right, left, right. You keep me up, my heart is beating up and down, spinning round and round. Just like my pearl is burning on the ground. If you're down with me, then let's ride, let's ride. Can nobody stop it, that's right, that's right. And my adrenaline is racing up and down, spinning round and round. Hit the pedal to the ground, listen to the sound, listen to the sound. Now we on to something, drop the fit, we killed it. Don't we all deserve it? I'll tell you how we want it. Oh, left, right, you've been here before, so do it till you get right, get it one more. So we can't deny it, baby, don't you hide it. If I like it, I bite it. So just tell me if you are worth it.
Nice falsetto.
I'm flipping in reverse, singing real. Holla, we going now, mix not this right. Don't ask me if you don't know why I hit the switch, hit the noise inside. Baby, say no more. Boy, just follow my flow, don't matter where we go. Oh, the only direction I know. Want your body swerving left, right, left, right. I want your body moving left, right, left, right. You keep me up, my heart is beating up and down, spinning round and round. Just like my pearl is burning on the ground. If you're down with me, then let's ride, let's ride. Can nobody stop it, that's right, that's right. And my adrenaline is racing up and down, spinning round and round. Hit the pedal to the ground, listen to the sound, listen to the sound. This is the right time, so come get it. You know that I'll be there for you. Down, down, if you're down, down. Baby, are you down, down? Are you down, down? Let me take you to the other side.
HG, we certified.
Alpha, we go right or die.
Into the galaxy, no device.
Down, down, if you're down, down. Tell me if you're down, down, down. Want your body swerving left, right, left, right. I want your body moving left, right, left, right. You keep me up, my heart is beating up and down, spinning round and round. Just like my pearl is burning on the ground. If you're down with me, then let's ride, let's ride. Can nobody stop it, that's right, that's right. And my adrenaline is racing up and down, spinning round and round.
yeah, this was it.
Oof,
This was it. This is it.
so good.
This is hidden. Big hits.
I will say, when this came out, I was working on a sci-fi themed escape room, and I did use this music video as a
Hell
reference.
yeah, let's go.
I would just like listen, pause, draw something out, listen.
Oh my god, this is so good.
It's
Yeah.
such a good modern take. It's such a good modern take on like early 2000s R&B.
Oh yeah,
Is like exactly what they're trying to do.
crushed
like,
it.
They got the exact right formula of people in the studio and people producing this to get it like perfect nail on the head.
Oh yeah, I don't think they could have nailed it more on the head. The like, I could go on, but like the melodies of this track just sent me. I was feeling it. I was vibing. That was
Really good.
I can certainly the virality of this song. I can see it now. Obviously that I wasn't in that space and now I am, but like now I can kind of see it from the perspective of like, yeah, this is a popular song and I know why it's a popular song because it's like about as catchy as you can think. It's great.
We
Yeah.
got a couple of comments, it looks like. The
do.
performance video kind of went viral. I wonder if the music video was already planned or they shot one because of how well Left Right was doing.
Possible. Yeah.
Shakedowns.
Shallots.
Uh,
Shakedowns.
I want to say it's planned because I think they were using a lot of the styling from the Shooting Star music
I was
video
gonna say,
in
yeah.
here.
Right.
So
I think,
they had to be shooting them like simultaneously or within
Yeah.
the same range.
I think that they were, by the point that this went viral, I think they were like teasing that there was a video coming and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So,
Makes sense.
they definitely planned it, but it could have been pushed sooner than planned maybe.
Yeah, since everyone was curious.
Yeah, and Gloria said the song is how I found out about XG. Someone posted the stage on Facebook, and I was like, "Damn, the Japanese are doing R&B better than the Americans." Not
How
wrong.
dare they take it away from us? No, this was great. I think, and also I think getting the like knowledge of what they were doing prior to this and then listening to this song, I feel like if this was my jumping off point to get into XG, I'd be like, wow, this is fantastic. But I think it gives me more appreciation because I am listening to the ciphers. I have listened to already a couple songs from them, and now it's like it makes sense. Like it makes sense why song after song they continue to become more and more popular as we continue on the trend. But yeah, this was great.
There's also so much versatility that we've seen already.
Yeah, crazy.
Like up until this point, we've hit four title tracks, and they are all vastly different.
I was gonna say they are all different. Yeah, which isn't a bad thing. I think it just shows off their skills as a group, and I mean, again, for having all seven of them, like, again, just layering out this song with like a ton of great like melodies. The hooks were fantastic. Like even like the little like even the dancing was like very evocative of like the R&B styling. It's not like they could have just went like they could have popped off and done some like crazy shit because we've already seen it already.
Yeah.
But for the fact that they like toned it in, they were just like, okay, this is what this song represents or a time period that we're trying to hit. Like let's just do it to a justice, whether it be through the musicality of it or also the choreo, or if we can find some sort of beauty or magic in between those two things, we're gonna do it. And I think they did it, certainly.
Yeah, and definitely with like the choreo, they did a good job of doing like easy to follow along, like subtle dance moves that make sense, obviously with the lyrics, being left, right, and they're kind of, I guess, point choreo, if you still want to use that term, is them really just pointing left and right.
This is my favorite. Like, there's a lot of left, right tracks that try to do what this does, and it's my favorite for sure. I really like the styling for the music video. Very Star Trek. Not Star
I know.
Wars.
I know.
I know.
I was poking fun. I was poking fun. I knew what it was.
I'm a
I knew what it
Trekkie,
was.
so
Okay, I'm a nerd. All right.
Ooh. Anyway, I think it worked really well because it's very like a futuristic kind of beat, the do 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 background sounds,
yeah.
and still pretty retro with the R&B.
The Neutro baby, it's coming back. It's great.
Ugh, I love it.
It also just
Still not
like,
tired of it.
It served as like a really good song for them. Obviously, like just having a song that's like, you know, left right with like the easy dance moves and it's really easy to follow along is a good TikTok
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
You know,
format. Yeah. Oh yeah.
machine. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing with who else had the what are the other left and right?
I know there's a 17 left and right.
Yeah. That
And
one I think sort of they went for like a similar thing, right? Where it was like
they
sort of
tried.
trying to
I
be
didn't see it
a
much
viral.
outside.
Well, you make songs like this where it's like it has a really easy, like it doesn't need to be associated with K-pop. It doesn't need to have any like context to it. You just hear left, right, and
Yeah.
that's something that people can attach their
Sure.
own
Yeah.
video to or attach like their own concept to and stuff and like
Yeah.
make their own thing out of it and the sound can just get viral, similar to
Mhm.
like how people ran with Cupid, for example.
Right.
Fair
Doesn't
enough.
really have
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
to do with it being K-pop or anything about their video.
Or,
It's-
like-
it's more so what people attached to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like 7, where you're literally just listing the days of the week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't you shit on that song, Therese. I know I made a Star Trek joke, but it's a Bob.
like
I think it's perfect for what it is.
damn. I'm a
Wow.
7 fan.
I know. I love. That's a great song. Hooks, baby, love it. All right.
So let's get into what I'm considering phase. Let's call it like phase 3
Okay.
XG. This is like pre New DNA. There was a little bit of a gap. They did Shooting Star. They did Left Right, and then I don't want to say they went quiet because they released a lot of stuff on their channel, and they also did KCON Japan, and then they came over and did Head in the Clouds.
Head in the
New
Clouds.
York.
I was gonna say, yeah. You went to go see them, so
I did see them. Very fun.
So lucky.
yeah. How dare you?
Yeah. So we have those. We have their video content and 2 performances in between. The KCON Japan was their first performance live, like real performance, and then the KCON or not KCON Head in the Clouds was their first overseas
U.S. Yeah.
U.S. performance. Yeah. So after that, they performed these next 2 tapes at Head in the Clouds for the first time, and then shortly after released these videos for them. So we'll get into the first one first, which is XG Tape 3A, 2 10s, and that's with Harvey and Maya.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
For some context, Maya went to international school. She's 100% fluent in
2
English.
twins and we both 10s on the mic. 2 little Asians, like what's all the hype? Fake the last tape, then no problems left tonight. Cause we got what it takes to rock the mic right.
XG pushing XP, breaking boundaries. Hit different, build different, new breed. The duo dynamic wreak havoc on the scene.
Maya Habibi, getting busy like Bonnie nominee. Top
Oh,
tier,
nice.
that's a
Okay.
big G, probably actually.
So what we doing?
Make a big man, but do it unbelievable.
But honestly, there's no such thing as mediocre heat. The nerve on these girls tryna pop if on a Jacob beat.
Only good
Nice.
vibes, none of the negative energy. I can do these so they no cap till infinity. 아타라시景色 demonstration what's lesson. Stick with the shots, take down wig when I'm killing it.
Stats stacking immaculately, super saiyan slaying it. 마타기로 level 쓰고 투기 not a lazy.
또 폰트를 보여줘 팍대 고개
We
대박해.
don't sleep on bars of wordplay. 마치곤 사기캐.
2 twins and we both 10s on the mic. 2 동양 꼬맹이들 뭐가 그리 나위. Fake the last tape, execute 또 못방함. Cause we got what it takes to rock the mic right.
2 twins and we both teens on the mic. 우찌라니 막다스려 난 너무 닮은 나이. 다 bets 구수비 난 모노고서 나이. Cause we got what it takes to rock the mic right. right. Look, 2 tens, tag team, double trouble.
3 GODs, that means we on the come up.
Still shooting stars, bang bang, keep shining on him.
This one right down, what's up, plus I got 5 on
I
it.
said 2 tens times that, we keep it 100. 10 out of 10, we ain't doing nothing less than perfect.
What's the purpose? 내 몸마다 조슈하지 맞다바까.
Subliminal kids and trying to hurt, no finish the list, the shoe fits.
2 tens or cool kids, they don't nobody too clueless.
Who can do this? 이 방금 못하는 주제들과 부러져.
Roughnecks vs Rick Shop, cause the rockets rap suplex.
I'm too blessed to the YouTube reactions. Who got the juice? 2
Nice.
twins and we both tens on the mic. 2 little Asians, like what's all the hype? We ate the last tape, then no crumbs left tonight. Cause we got what it takes to rock the mic, right?
This beat's sick too. Oh, hard.
Shout out J. Cole.
Shout out to J. Cole, yeah. They also reference Bone Thugs and Harmony, which is an OG.
Yeah, so obviously.
I don't know-
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if God was a reference, but
G.O.D.
that is
I also didn't know about that.
that's a K-pop group, like a really old
Yeah.
one.
Oh, okay, wow.
So-
they're hidden everything.
I did notice the hard subs, which didn't happen in the past videos, right?
Correct, yeah.
So I wonder if they're trying to showcase like, hey, we're singing in different languages,
in case
Yeah.
you didn't know,
Or-
yeah.
or if it just matched the vibe.
So I know that in their the cipher that first went viral, like the one with like coconut popping off.
Yeah.
That one, there was definitely I don't know if it's intentional or not. There was a lot of people who were obviously like very unfamiliar with XG or unfamiliar with maybe K-pop or anything in general that got around to like reacting to it, just like I don't know, rap channels and stuff, who were just like, we're definitely saying like, oh, these girls are rapping in 2 different languages, or like, oh, what are these girls rapping
Oh.
in, like
Uh,
what is this, like Japanese and English? So there could have been some emphasis on like, hey,
it's actually
Yeah.
3
hey,
languages.
hey, it's 3 languages. Yeah. Like, hey, you weren't impressed enough. It's 3, not 2.
Honestly, I just did an entire presentation in front of my coworkers on AAPI kind of sort of history, and how a lot of people can't tell apart the different Asian languages unless it's written. So I was like, my suggestion to you would be to go out and listen to some J-pop and some K-pop and like actually hear the difference, because it sounds so different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I would agree.
throw in some Desi beats. Like, we got lots of places to look.
Yeah. This song is this is good. This is a good cipher. Obviously,
Uh,
go ahead, Alex.
I was just gonna say it's obviously like it's very campy. It's like a little self-aware. It's like a little funny kind of, and it's also like
Yeah.
it calls back to a lot of like previous songs, and they're shouting out the last cipher and like how it went viral for YouTube reactions. And
Yeah.
Stuff. So it's very like it's like very self-aware and
I'm hoping I'm on the next one
Cool.
that they do. When they say YouTube reactions.
YouTube
I'm just saying,
reactions.
yeah.
If you wanna source material here, hit up
I
the
feel like you could
DMs.
make a pretty good flow with audio addiction. Like that has
Yeah,
a good
come
flow to
on.
it. So
Come on, XG, let's go. I mean, your people contact my people. Let's do it. Yeah. No, I like that. I did also like the like little beat that they had, the like the 2 little Asians rock the mic or something like that. I thought I was like, yeah, I feel like that's a little campy, but I also get it, because it's like, okay, that's cool. I mean, respect to them, because again, I think I think all of these ciphers show off more of their like flow and style, and very similarly to like the last cipher, and probably the reason why I enjoyed all of them was just the fact that they all had this really interesting individuality that I would argue again that most groups have a hard time locating, or take a little bit longer to locate, where I almost feel like it's almost second nature for them to just like do this or do that, and it like just lands. There's something about it that everything that they've done so far, at least I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, wow, this is really cool. Like, this really works well because I already listened to this song and I really enjoyed that. now it's just playing off the things that I already enjoyed, and I think they're continuing to like keep that like ball moving further down the path. So I gotta give them a lot of kudos for really thinking intuitively ahead, so that like new people that find out about like XG maybe through like left right, they're like, oh wow, this is really cool. Like I wouldn't have expected them to do that, and then they found out that later on they actually had done already 2 other ciphers. That's insane. So I got to give them a lot of kudos for that. It's awesome. Any other thoughts?
Hell yeah.
I'm hyped.
All right. Well,
What's the next one?
what's the next one?
Yeah, next one is XG Tape 3B, Nothing, featuring Jurin and Kokona.
Ah, my girls. Let's go. All of them are.
Ho,
Oh,
ho,
yep.
ho,
Dude, they did this one live at Heaven Clouds. I was so hyped.
homeboy, we came to party. God's favorite like you know it. When we rapping about it, we can back it up. But you don't want the rest of my girls to start acting up. What you gonna do? What you tryna do?
Ooh.
What you gonna do? What you tryna do? Still young in the bars, nothing under 16. They said out to float the bootleg and mixtapes. Too fat, pretty hot and tempting. My body ain't fit, but I got thick skin. The 굳이 시작하는 drama, 그냥 세지 comments. Heavy rotation, go and check the album. Who'da thought that the kid would go viral? C to the OC on the she a problem. Wildin' out without carrying a cannon, but they got their hands high like a snake, a fanatic. I'll make it look easy, can't through the panic, yeah, this sounds addicting. Try take a crack at it like go, make your chest move, step to the Neptunes, chillin' with my people, stand still, lean back, true player for real, never miss, y'all already know, still happy taking the L. So what you gonna do, boy? We came to party, God's favorite like you know it. When we rapping about it, we can back it up, but you don't want the rest of my girls to start acting up. What you gonna do? What you tryna do? What you gonna do? What you tryna do? I speak trilingual, that's a special delivery. Articulate, triple threat, artillery. Internet trolls, took a white egg, kill me. Ain't nobody got time for that wet energy. Age with the attitude, yo, we gon' act a fool. You and me are not on par on any platform. Gorilla mode with the bait and they camel. They don't know, but they old school smoke, no Joe Camel. Alpha's on deck, put some respect on them two. Latest and follow like Simon says. 24/7, 365 XG, but the breaker out of stereotypes. Yeah, you are going on the mic. Go step and beware of the mic. Your lows in this episode's heavy on the spice. Music makes me like la 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 la.
A good diss track to the haters.
That is so good.
It was so good. Meatball, what do you think?
It,
What do you think?
yeah,
looks
I
like-
noticed we got a new guest.
What do you think? What do you think?
He looks sad.
He's so pissed off right now. He's so pissed off. He always, anytime I pick him up and put him in a video, he's just like, he gets so pissed off. Shout out to my cat, Meatball.
That cipher is like a non-stop play on words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it
the
is.
whole
Yeah.
thing, it is so like everything is like somehow leading into like the next line or like
Oh, it's
super
great.
cool.
Also, their synergy together is so good. Like Jiren and Kokona, like
They're very
Yeah.
close.
they're very close. Like, and you could tell because I think they're like the way that they kind of flowed into each other just was immaculate. So yeah, I would say this one out of all of the ciphers, I think this one is probably thus far. I mean, I don't know if we have another one in store for us, but I would say this one this one crushed it. I think this was probably my favorite out of all the ciphers, just because like beat hard, love it, very sick. Definitely has like almost like a Indian like style, like kind of like riff or tonality to it.
Yeah, it's an old Norway beat.
Yeah, I love that. And then as well as that, just both of them had like great energy. The like attitude was like over 9,000, you know, and I respect that because I felt like, you know, I did something bad and they were just like putting me in my place, you know, so I respect that.
100 Riz, but like that
Riz,
was
yeah.
100% Riz, but that was like it was a little triggering when they were like the haters call me kawaii, and oh man,
Ooh,
I
that hit.
hate
That hit.
yeah, because there were so many. I went to go see a really great Korean indie band with the most badass vocalist woman, and people were in the audience like, "Oh my god, you're so cute," and she's like, "I'm not cute.
You're like,
Who's
shut the
calling
fuck
me
up.
cute?"
Yeah.
Like, I'll fight you. Like they are 1,000% badasses.
Yeah. For them to call them out in a cipher, I think that's, I mean,
It's good.
hey,
It's
hey,
good.
I respect it, you know. I didn't even say that shit, and I'm like, ooh, I feel,
Right.
I feel, ooh, I feel hurt.
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling it. No, that was great. Yeah, and both, I think, like, you know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the tonality of each individual rapper that they have in XG, you can just tell. There's just a specific way that they rap, their flow, their like the way that they go about the track and like how they attack it in each individual, you know, in an individual way. Just love it. So I think this might, in terms of the groups that we've done, I think this is pretty close to, like, obviously Dreamcatcher is number one, probably will be for a while unless I can find another group that will top it. But I think XG is like a very, very, very close second. Like, I could swap between the two, you know.
XG is one of those groups that I'm telling my friends, I'm like, this is a group you got to watch out for.
It
like,
really
this
will
is
be.
going to be the next one, and it's hard to deny. Like, New Jeans, of course, is coming up great and doing their own thing. It's completely different vibes, but XG's got like a whole team behind them because you can tell they're like really thinking out who gets which lines. When like I think it was Kokona said like, oh, still haven't taken any L's, and she had this line in the other one that's like taking no L's, giving no F's. So they're thinking all of this through, and it's working.
There's so much continuity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's all like I mentioned their company before, X Galax. They're also backed by a very large company in Japan, just to be clear with like their funding and like their like they're not kind of, they have heavy investments. Their
That's sick.
company is the subsidiary of Avex. Huge company in Japan.
Okay.
So yeah, so they have the, obviously you're seeing big budgets, so they have the financial backing for all this stuff, which I'm just happy to see them putting it to good use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also think
there's
it's just
no fluff in here.
I was gonna say, I also think it's probably just, I think it's just like the collective nature of their group, like whether it be the actual like members within the group or their team as a whole. I think it's just like everybody is on the same page. You know, I think that's kind of like what I realized immediately about the group is that like they go in it, they're like, production wise, we're gonna try to do this, like let's do something that like other people aren't doing right now, and let's just like absolutely murder it. And I feel like that's, I would argue, I think that's probably why they're like, oh, we want to be global, like we want to be the next big thing, like we want to continue to do this. And I mean, it seems like certainly they have the tenacity to do that, you know. I mean, whether you come from the rap side and you've watched all the ciphers, or you like come from like their main MVs and you're like, holy shit, this is great too. I think pretty much I would argue there isn't a thing that they don't like not cover. I think they kind of cover a lot of bases, and like I would argue even if you're not like a super big K-pop fan, I think you can definitely get down with like a large majority of this music, I'd argue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
XG is the group I'd tell my non-K-pop friends about.
Yeah.
Without no hesitation. It's like there's other groups I think could do well, like New Jeans or
Yeah.
any other groups that are doing like the more modern or more like approachable stuff. It's always XG. And I've anyone who I've told about them, I think I'm like 100% success rate with people getting back to me like, oh, this is pretty good, or like finding songs they like, especially with like approachable songs like Left Right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or Mascara.
But it's
When you went
this
to
stuff.
when you went to Head in the Clouds, was the fan base pretty K-pop heavy? Like, are they bringing in more K-pop fans than regular fans, or is it kind of balanced?
It has to be K-pop heavy because, from my perspective, prior to the headliners, XG had the biggest crowd.
Oh,
And they were several hours before the headliners. There are like photos of their. It was at a really odd venue. It was at a tennis stadium. That is sort of set up like Coliseum style, and there are photos of their set where it's just like packed to the brim up top, and I did not see it like that the rest of the entire weekend, other than like the headliners like Nicki and like Rich
Wow.
Brian and stuff. Like there was a lot of people. The chants for their songs were really really loud. There was people all over the crowd passing out like little like flags and stuff to hold up with their like logo on it and stuff.
Sick.
It felt very very K-pop
Okay.
community, and it also felt like a lot of people there were there for XG.
dang. I
Respect.
was going to say they have to be careful because I think XG is amazing and I think they're going places, but the biggest turnoff to people is fandoms in K-pop. So if XG has a K-pop fandom, people are going to get turned off.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to
Everyone
avoid it.
gatekeep. We're gatekeeping XG. gatekeep.
Give them out. Give them.
I don't think you can avoid it when they lean into it so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like they can't go on M Countdown and then avoid having K-pop fans.
Maybe,
You know what I mean?
Maybe
Although
they'll
I
be the
think they
go-between.
could-
You know.
I do think they could be successful without Korean promotions.
Oh, that absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially at this point. Especially once these album numbers come out and we see like what their sales are like internationally. I don't know if it's a hot take. I think they should ditch the Korean promotions if their sales internationally are good enough, because they've already got their foot in the door everywhere. I mean, they just played another was it a Head in the Cloud? What did they just play? They did like an F1 performance at like an F1 thing in.
Holy shit.
I don't know.
I'll look.
I don't know. I'm not familiar enough. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they just did like a really crazy performance at like an F1 speedway that was also like a music festival, where they performed to a huge crowd again, and like the tickets were really expensive. And I saw some videos of people like in the crowd, and it looked crazy. It looked like there was a lot of people there that are
Wow.
obviously not in the U.S. or obviously not in Korea or Japan going to see them. So I think that just goes to show their international,
Yeah.
whether they're K-pop fans or not. I think like the international fandom being strong is a good indication and like a good
Growing point.
kicking point, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
kickoff point
starting
for them.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping off point.
So.
Yeah. They played. It was Singapore Grand Prix.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also said in the same article that I found online, they're also playing the inaugural South by So What in Sydney next month, which is
Ooh.
wild.
So we'll see the Australian fans.
They
Australian.
also did KCON LA.
Pulling up.
That's right.
Pulling up.
Yeah.
Good for them. Well, I think we should move on to the next one. What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
do it. So now we're getting into the leading up to New DNA, which is the
New
mini
album.
that came out today.
All right.
So all the songs we're going to be hearing from now until the end are pre-releases for New DNA. They are all on the album.
Very sick.
Disclaimer though, I do know that this next video is not the full song.
That's
Yeah.
correct. So it is a shortened version of Girl Gang. There is a version that has like an extended rap verse. And I think like an additional. It has some additional parts.
Let's
It's
go.
normal length. It's very good. I recommend listening to it in your own time.
I'm gonna do it.
There are a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but there is some like confusion about why they decided to do this, why they decided to cut out good sections of a song.
Tell there's budget.
Maybe.
I think it's apparent. We'll watch it.
I think if you see the video, I mean the budget for the video already has to be crazy. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Once you see the video, I don't think you can question the budget at all. I think
Stylistic
you just have
choice.
to decide whether you take Simon's statements at face value or not, because he basically said that he worked with an artist who had never done a music video before, but somebody that he had always like throughout his entire like before XG had always wanted to work on a video with, because he really like valued his like art style and his approach to art.
Sure, yeah.
And so he got this guy to do this video, and he basically, I think his statement summed up very briefly and maybe a little inaccurately, was basically that he felt that he got everything conveyed that he needed to in the shorter span of the video, and was happy conveying was happier putting out a shorter product with no fluff and no bullshit than releasing a project where there was like extra stuff thrown in. So I guess you have to just decide like whether you think that's a budget thing or whether you think it's like a time thing. Or
That's a good
whether,
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, at least it's not a Pixie thing where, you know, they mash two songs together and, you know, some of the parts are, you know, I'm gonna leave that as is. No offense to Alex. I will say that the two. I'll go on my Pixie tangent for a second. I do think that the actual two songs separately sound better than the one song together. So, just saying.
Thank you.
I did listen to it. People asked if I listened to it. I have to be honest. I enjoyed both of the other songs individually versus the smashed up version.
Flip a Coin should have been the title track. All art, you messed up.
Yeah.
Fucked up real good.
Here you go. On this XG video, we're talking about Pixie. Go check it out if you want.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
Girl
Enough-
Gang.
enough Pixie talk. Do it, Girl Gang.
Girl Gang.
Also, if you haven't figured out that XG are aliens yet, it should be pretty obvious by now.
Wait, they're aliens?
Yeah.
Lore.
I've been here to be a different kind of body. That type of girl don't got inside of nobody. You mess around with us, I promise you'll be sorry. Trust me, that be a big mistake. We go hard every day. Me and my girls ain't here to play. If you ain't tough, can't join a club.
The melodies.
Only got room for the baddest. Middle one is my team, go ham with it. Don't you let these pretty faces fool you. Savage underneath. There's no limit, nothing that we can do. Whatever the problem, we're not a song. Workflow, has a game. Never big fights for the girl game. All of my ladies are fire. Rolling with creases, a female empire. Workflow, hustle game. Never pick fights with the girl gang. All of my ladies are fire. Rolling with creases, a female empire.
Bow down, get back, head down, get
We
through.
go hard every day. Me and my girls ain't here to play. Baddest, yeah. Only got room for the baddest. Ooh.
You ever seen Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yes, I have. Yeah. I knew. I saw it for a second. And I was like, wait a second. Is this what I think it is? That's sick. Okay.
Actually, I haven't seen Evangelion, but it's on my list. Okay, so with the context that you gave us, I do still think there was a budget. I think it might have been related to time because so many transitions happened, and they were very well done, and there were
Yeah.
a lot of effects being used, and you could tell that they were it took a lot of effort to sync it to a song. So I can understand why they wouldn't want to make it longer, because they probably didn't have a good enough outline for a full 3.5 minutes. So agreed that they definitely got across everything they needed to with that amount of time. I do wish it included the entire song though, because that's kind of the point of a music video.
Yeah, you're missing out on a good rap verse, which I think does take away from the song a bit.
Yeah,
Oh.
I did feel like there was I did feel like obviously watching the ending part, I was like, is there gonna be more? And then obviously everything came up at the end, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
wait,
the disclaimer helps.
The disclaimer helped, so I was kind of expecting something, and then it just didn't happen. So I would imagine if there was no explanation as to why there wasn't anything, if they just capped it here, I would be like, oh, sick, 2-minute track, that's awesome, raw, respect. But knowing now that the song is longer, it kind of leaves a little bit to be desired, I'd argue, because you're like, man, okay, if another minute and a half plus of this song is missing, there had to have been something there where I'm like, okay, this is sick. But I will actually check out the full song and post it up somewhere, I guess. But yeah, I enjoyed this song. I kind of felt like it was cut a little short. Once I really got into it, I was like, wait, it's over. Is it over? It's over? It's over now?
Leaves you wanting more. You know what? It leads you right to their Spotify.
It
Where you
does.
can listen to the
It
full
does.
thing.
Yeah.
I will listen to the full Girl Gang 100%. But yeah, this track was
I
hard.
love this song.
Great song.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good melodies. The rap parts, excellent. Again, sucker for good, the good rap bits here. But yeah, this I honestly, they continue to floor me as a group. I don't think I genuinely switching between having a song like Left Right and then listening to this song, you would instinctually think they're two different groups. And so, I mean, that's what I would think. If I listened to this song, I wouldn't be like, man, they're doing Left Right. That's crazy. That seems a little bit more R&B, a little bit more melodic, and this one's hard. It's got a hard beat. It's got hard rapping in it as well too. It's I think again, it just shows off their versatility as a group, and I think if I would highly recommend if people watch this and are I don't really know what to get out of XG, I'd just be listen to Left Right and listen to this song, and you will put all the pieces together, because there's something about it where it taps into the heavy rap energy, but also taps into that melodic, they can make some beautiful shit as well too. So I don't know, that's my 2 cents.
A lot of artists are doing exploration in genres. So keeping in mind that these are 2 separate kind of generations,
Sure.
separate eras of theirs, I think it still has their flavor pretty good in both.
No, I
just
don't,
a little less vocals, I guess.
Agreed. I don't think it's any less XG. I think they very much put their stamp of approval on everything. But I do think they're if you were to check out even Shooting Star, for example, if you were to check that out, that's completely different than this. And obviously, again, it's basically seasons for them. But yeah, I'd be curious to see obviously what we'll be listening to next. So I feel like maybe we should jump into the next one, which is TGIF. So
this was the last music video I saw of theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hadn't seen the one after this, I think.
Ayo. Therese and I are going blind react after TGIF. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do I need to know anything about this, Alex, or are we rocking?
Nah, let's just roll into it.
We're switching vibes again.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Surprise.
Always switching vibes.
And we don't need no fire, 'cause we already high. Fresh, so clean, still the scene. Drip, pour in, 'cause I'm a 10. I know, yeah, you know what? Too high up to give a what? BBS Thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly.
This is hard. Okay.
Thank God I'm fly. You call it cocky, I call it true. I'm such a heaty, hot and breezy, off the heezy on the IG, YTTT. Fresh to death, my flying is best, like heaven sent me. God's my witness, the drips to take me. Ooh la la, my ladies, get your moolah. Ooh la la, my ladies, never cooler. All across the globe and not the solar. Nobody call me close when we show up. VVS has got nothing on me. Want it, got it, flaunt it, I am queen. I'm lucky, I'm fresh, look at me, I'm blessed. Wake up, look up in the mirror. TGIF. Oh, thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly. You call it cocky, I call it true. When I'm with my ladies, oh, the party don't stop. And we don't need no fire, cause we already hot. Yeah, I'm with my ladies and the party don't stop. So we gon' bring
That's
the
cool.
fire,
All right.
drop it like it's higher than the clouds. I am all that way up. I can hear the haters, I'm so loud. Now, sweeter than a chocolate peanut butter cup. Peanut butter cup. Gonna eat it up. Damn. Thank God I'm fly.
Oh, all right.
Thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly. You call it cocky, I call it true.
Another fantastic track.
Oh
Fun.
my gosh.
It's so Vogue.
It is
The-
so Vogue.
Those
Popping
are the
off.
craziest nails I've ever seen.
I gotta say, I want whatever the video editor is on.
Yes.
Whoever is editing their stuff,
Holy
I need
shit.
to know what you're on, and I want my own.
Yeah.
Absolutely
There's so much happening.
just wanna-
Every single frame is like
An
a
absolute
reference.
trip.
I just
A
want to know
reference and a trip.
how. I just want to know how this person like pitched this music video.
Yeah.
Like, I just would love to be a fly on the wall and be like, so listen, guys, I got this great idea for a music video. We're all gonna trip LSD. Just kidding. I'm just gonna do it, and then I'm gonna come up with your music video. How does that sound? Great. Okay,
You've
cool.
got to have some very specific asks to get something like this out.
Yeah, like, hey, we're gonna have this scene where you're gonna kind of like spin the camera perspective, and then she's gonna be crying, and you're gonna what you're gonna do is turn that into a crystal, and then make it like snake out
Oh
of her
my
face.
gosh.
Like,
And then we're gonna have like this
Exactly.
like then we're gonna have like this like emoji like dragon thing flying in the background, and like
and there's like so many little
so
weird things.
shit,
Where,
yeah.
like you look into like the left corner or something, and you see like there's like a reflection of their faces like smushed, like you're playing the
like a
like the
Snapchat
Mario,
filter. Yeah.
like you're playing like the Mario face stretch game from Super Mario 64
Yeah.
or something.
It's
like
such like the
attention to
visual the visual aesthetics of Lady Gaga plus Katy Perry plus Poppy plus Billie Eilish and just
And like throw it
mashed
into
together.
a blender. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we throw a Snapchat filter on it on top of that.
But kind of like a beautifully marbled texture.
this song and video package is like a runway acid trip.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And I also love that it's
Oh.
like just got this like, I guess it's like a kind of like a house beat a little bit. It definitely get the
Yeah,
like da da
yeah.
da 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 like oh man, this one was catchy as fuck. It was I can't. XG is blowing my mind right now. I'm feeling it.
Mhm.
I'm feeling it. Feeling it, Mr.
I
Krabs.
think specifically, I love Maya's rap verse in this specifically.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
people don't give Maya the credit she's due a lot for her rapping. I think she
Hard.
kills
I
it
think-
in this one.
she does so well that I consider her more of a leader role. Like
I would agree,
the way
yeah.
she raps is very leader like, I don't know.
To be honest,
She sets the mood.
to give some context to that, which she does have a little bit of like a leader role because she is the one that went to international school, so she's very she
That's
grew up
right.
speaking English. She's very like fluent as fluent can get in English. So
Yeah.
she does take the lead in all of their Western stuff.
Mm.
Oh,
All of
okay.
their interviews, all of their radio shows, their meeting people and stuff. Maya takes a very leader approach. Where like
Come
a
on
lot
the
of the
show,
other girls
Maya.
do,
Let's go. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. Hop
Come on the show. Come on.
Oh my god, please.
Love to have you. Please, queen.
A lot of
Come
the
on.
other girls do have very good English and can like definitely carry their own and have conversations and stuff, but it's definitely very Maya led. So
That's
be
fair.
The reason that she gives off like stronger vibes, especially when she gets these rap verses in her not native but like a very familiar tongue for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crush it.
I would say she's truly, I think, the only member that I would say is like fluent in all three languages.
Oh,
And I
wow,
think that
that's
shows-
really impressive.
Yeah, that's sick.
And I think that shows a lot in her verses and like her versatility and like how her sections flow.
You could also just tell
So-
by like the like I think the directness. Like there's just something about it. Like when she's rapping in English, where you're like, oh my chest, oh, I'm feeling it. And then she switches off to Korean. You're like, I don't understand. I don't know Korean, but I can feel the pain. And then she hits you with Japanese, and you're like, I also don't know what this is, but this feels not good. You know, like good in a like masochistic way. You know, like hurts so good. You know. So yeah.
Is their next song a summer song? Okay,
He
never mind.
chuckled.
I have seen this. I have
You
seen
did.
this music video. I forgot.
It's okay. So this is a summer song. It unfortunately came out at the end of summer.
Damn.
Yeah.
It just recently came
Feels
out.
bad.
I really wish they released it when they released Girl Gang. They should have flipped them. It would have been a very, very good, like, summer
Would have
track.
been Alex's song of the summer.
Okay,
That
with
being
late summer
said-
songs.
That being said, it still is my song of the summer, and
Oh.
I'm taking a stance right now that it's my favorite XG song.
Wow.
That's
All
some high
right.
praise.
All right. Well, I think we have to get into it.
And I don't
Yeah.
hate a single XG song, but I think this is my favorite.
This
Has
is the
been for a
pop off.
couple weeks.
Okay, this is a pop off. All right, let's go. New dance. Let's rock. Little nylon guitar.
Fly with my girls to the party. We ain't come to bother nobody. We just gonna have a good time. Moving our body. See me getting down on the floor. I walked into the show. I just learned a new dance. They asked me how I do that.
Stepped on the floor when I'm killing them. All the cute boys when I dance with me, I'm getting them. I just put my hands up on my hips and I do a little step on my feet like this. Don't you get it dizzy trying to keep up with me? I've been moving too fast. It will flash, I blow past your girlfriend. Yeah, we get it down with the get down. If you don't know how to do
I
it,
just
just sit
learned a
down.
new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance.
To the X, to the X. All the little girls get down with the X.
Fly with my girls to the party.
Ooh, there's
We ain't
bass.
come to bother nobody. We just gonna have a good time. Moving our body. See me get it down on the floor. I walked into the show. I just learned a new dance. They asked me how I do that. First thing you gotta do if you're gonna do is slide to the left and the right now. Dip your hip low like me, baby. Look at me, let me find out.
You gotta do it, gotta move it to the music like you really feel the rush now. You wanna hold back, go crazy. Yeah, you got it.
I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance,
To the X, to the X. All the little girls get down with the X.
Fly with my girls to the party. We wanna dance all night. This beat
They're
has
just
got me
vibing. I love it.
feeling alright. So take the step and turn around. Spin around, touch your head to your toes. Long as you're steady, keep your eyes on the floor. Don't care who's watching, let me show you how it goes.
Pop, 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 lock it, now drop it. I be on the move and I be non-stop it. Never miss a beat, we got to hip hop it.
Waiting for this moment.
Never gonna let it go.
Turn up the music now. Get up, this is your time. So here we go, let 'em know. I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance.
I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance. I just learned a new dance.
To the X, all the little girls get down with the XA. Slide with my girls to the party. We ain't come to bother nobody. We just gonna have a good time. Moving our body. See me get it down on the floor. I walked into the show. I just learned a new dance. Ask me how I do that.
What? I mean,
Cute.
low key flex. I mean, come on. I'd like to turn
Yeah.
into a bubble and just like teleport to somewhere. Kind of hard. 10 out
What
of
a
10.
song.
This is I want to hear Therese's thoughts on this song, and then I'll go.
Okay, I remember when we watched this. I don't know if you were part of the stream that I was when we were watching this, Alex.
Oh,
You
I was
were?
like,
Okay, because yeah, I remember being a lot more lukewarm on the song, and I think I still have the same criticisms I did before. And it's not that it's a late summer song. I don't have any problem with that. I love summer songs. It's that this is a one note song in a way. It once I think one of our server mates, Doha, said it reminded her of a specific American DJ song. Do you remember who it was? I can't remember. And when she said that, it ruined it for me because I was like, oh, I can't unhear it. And I wish they could have switched up the chorus just a little bit more, like changed the lyrics a bit from I just learned a new dance, new dance, new dance, new dance. If they did like I just learned a new dance, I'll show you how to do it. Like if they added on a little bit more,
okay.
it would
Fair
have been
enough.
really, really good and really cute. But not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite.
Ooh, wow. We got the 50-50
Okay.
split on this.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the tiebreaker here. No,
Okay.
no, I enjoyed it musically. I just love the kind of like, again, Alex nailed it on the head. That summer vibe. It's really evocative of like a good summer heater track, you know. But I think the coolest thing about it that I specifically liked was that like even some of the people that you would expect to do like rapping were doing some like vocals, and I thought that was really sick because I was like, holy shit. Like, not that I couldn't think they didn't sing, like I imagine they did, and obviously I got the preface to know that they do sing, but for them to actually do it in a song, I was like, that's kind of sick. I like that, you know. And it shows off
Coconut's vocal.
Coconut's vocals were popping off. Shout outs. But yeah, it was just great. Just the whole vibe was really fun, really energetic. I will kind of sidestep to maybe similarly to what like Therese was saying. I think that this song is a good song, but I would also argue like I feel like I need to get into it a little bit more. It wasn't like a song where I feel like left, right, I was like, that's it. Like, I got it. Like, as soon as it came on, it hit, and I was feeling it. This one, like, I was still feeling it, but I definitely think I will like it more if I give it, like, a few more listens.
Okay, so if I can give my context to maybe explain why I like this song so
Sure
much.
thing. Absolutely. Do it up.
I think that had I listened to this song first on Spotify without the video, it would be right middle of the road XG song for me.
Fair enough. Okay.
The amount of personality that this video shows. In
I
these
was going to
girls,
say, yeah, that's true. That's true.
and like fun, and like their, like how close they are with each other, and just like showing off like how they are, and from watching all their documentary series and like seeing so much of them behind the scenes and like what they've gone through and like everything that they have gone through to like get to where they are now, and like to see them kind of like candidly having fun in like showcasing, like especially like someone like Hinata who's you know a pretty reserved girl,
She was just
kind of
smiling.
quiet,
Yeah.
and it's just like her like smiling, dancing in like a dance circle, having fun with her friends. It's like it was, I think, visually evocative of my emotions,
It was wholesome.
and I
It's
think
wholesome.
that brings up the music
Mm,
a lot
Fair enough. Yeah.
because it's just association. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's also like wholesome as fuck. Like it just seemed like everybody was just like.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like at the end of the song where they're all like cheering for each other
Yeah.
and just dancing around and
Mhm.
having fun. It's like you can't not feel good, and like
That's true.
it lends to like the summer vibe so much and just like having fun with your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is like not every song needs to be a grade A banger. I get it. Like at least this wasn't for me. If it was for you, that's great. But I do think having a break in between like the really kind of serious stuff, it lends you a little bit like it lends artists a little more room to relax a bit, grow, like get more comfortable in their own skins rather than constantly putting on a face. So
Yeah, for sure.
I get it now in the context of like putting on a full concert or something. This would be a really good
Yeah.
in
So, 'cause
between.
if you look at it, like if you're going from Girl Gang to this, like if I'm watching the Girl Gang video and they're doing like this high concept, they're all aliens,
Yeah.
and you know everyone's got like powers, and they you know Maya's got horns and all this crazy
Yeah,
special
yeah.
effects, and then you get this video and you're like, oh, this is the XG I know. These are the girls that I'm watching behind the scenes. These are the girls I'm watching the vlogs like prank each other, waking up before dance practice, and like the girls I'm like watching like chase each other down the street, like
Being
you know,
goofy.
it was very, it was way more in line with like with who they are behind the scenes than who they are showing when they put forward stuff like Girl Gang or stuff like Shooting Star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How dare you be
I see the
divisive,
value.
Therese? How dare you be divisive? How dare you?
No, that could
Not
just
on
be
this
my
channel.
personal. That could be just my personal experience because of my
Because you went through the emotional journey
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with
right,
them.
and just because
Yeah.
of my, I guess like further, you know, connection to like what.
Yeah, the love
Yeah.
of what
Stuff they've
their
been through.
group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Hey,
that.
my criticism for
No.
certain songs just proves how much I genuinely love a song when I say I love a song. I don't think I hate any K-pop
I was
groups.
gonna say
Yeah, I think it's all good music. I think some music is better than others, but that's objective.
I
Like
think all
that's
criticism is
subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have criticism.
I appreciate you not criticizing the thing that most people are criticizing in the song, is that they never show the new dance. I just learned a new dance. And they never show the. They're doing the
Hey,
dance. They're doing
I
the
mean-
dance while they say that. They're doing the dance. That's in the video. There's
Oh my
choreography
God.
for
The
it.
song is the new dance.
That reminds
The
me of
song is choreographed. It is the dance.
that reminds me of the new K-pop song "Get a Guitar," but where it was like
Wait.
a whole song about like get a guitar. I was like, why do they not have a guitar yet? Where is the guitar?
I have one, Therese. I have
Thank
one.
you, thank you.
All right, you've beaten
No,
allegation.
I think stuff like that's pretty dumb. It's a song. It's
That was a terrible joke, guys. I'm sorry.
yeah. No,
That
you're,
was a
you're
prop,
great.
prop,
Good
prop jokes.
guitar.
prop
It's
joke.
very-
Prop joke, yeah.
Prop joke, baby. You can expect that all the time from me. No, this is great
Yeah,
song.
subscribe for more prop jokes.
Yeah, make sure to follow for more pop jokes. I really, this one was a good one. I think it's different from their catalog, where I would kind of put it maybe like in the same category as Left Right, where it's a little bit more like poppy, it's a little bit more like vibey, and again showing off their versatility as a group. Like I love that, and just the instrumentation of the song was really fun too. So gotta give them a lot of credit. Whoever did their bass on this track,
I was
fire.
gonna say we
Love
we
it.
love that funk bass.
Shout
that
outs.
nice little smooth bass riff
Woo!
going on throughout the whole song.
Love it. Love it. Well,
It's
we're gonna
nice.
move on to the next one, which is Puppet Show. Is this finally into the new?
So yeah, this is new. None of us have heard this. I have been
Woo!
grinding.
Let's
Full
go.
reaction.
Let's go.
I'm more hyped than I could ever be.
Let's rock. 10:30 on the
get it.
dot, baby. Let's go. Puppet Show.
It's time I get what I deserve. Act like you don't know what I'm worth. We spend a lot of time talking, but it feels like I'm never heard.
Listen to what comes out my mouth before you try to take me out. You ought to know what I'm about. Treat me like a lady. This ain't up for debating. Boy, stop playing before it goes a different route.
Imagine a world where we could play different roles, where girls be taking control. Wrapping our fingers, they couldn't tell us no. Welcome to the puppet show, where we playing like the plastic dolls.
Let's go.
They'll do anything when you got 'em hanging by a string. Gonna play it like the toys. We'll make 'em do what we enjoy. They'll do anything when you got 'em by a string.
Don't like the look of this picture. Boy, you think that I'm in love with you? Cry me a river. Thought you was lit to leave a true extra. I'ma do it my way. Ain't apologetic. I'ma cut you off like Papa Felicia with it. I'm a controller. Play like Atari. It ain't game over till I say so. Got it.
Automatic when I want for it to please me. Might just make you do the things I want you to. Playing puppet master, everything's so easy. I'll make all of my own dreams come true. Ooh. Imagine a world where we could play different roles, where we be taking control. Wrapping our fingers, they couldn't tell us no. Welcome to the puppet show, where we playing like the plastic dolls. They'll do anything when you got 'em hanging by a string. Gonna play it like the toys. Make 'em do what we enjoy. They'll do anything when you got 'em by a string. Yeah. Follow my lead. Just leave a whole thing up to me. My expertise. Yeah. Welcome to the puppet show, where we playing like the plastic dolls.
Little city pop vibes.
They'll
All right.
do anything when you got 'em hanging by a string. Welcome to the puppet show. Where we playing like the plastic dolls. They'll do anything when you got 'em hanging by a string. Gonna play it like the toys. Make 'em do what we enjoy. They'll do anything when you got 'em by a string.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm very happy. Very
Woo!
happy.
Well worth the wait. We have like another
Oh.
minute. We got another minute. Are they gonna do anything?
It's gotta be.
It's just
Maybe there's gonna be like a post-credits teaser
give me-
into the
give me
next
my
music
more-
video.
Give me more of this alien lore.
More
Yeah, this was
alien-
pretty. I couldn't tell if this was lore heavy or if it was literally just about the puppets
When Destiny
that
and
they're singing
Galaxy
about.
align. That's what it says.
When Destiny
And
and
galaxies
what?
align.
okay,
Oh,
puppet
no.
show. I think it said puppet show.
Nice.
It was on a string, like a puppet. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay, not really.
And I guess that's the logo for their current album, or just... I don't
who
know.
knows? We don't
Anyway.
know. Either way. Oh.
Wow.
What a
Wow.
what a song.
Wow.
What a song.
K-pop is the only music genre that still puts me through all of those like climax fall off like it's different every time.
It hits different.
Yeah, it's the pre-chorus. They figured out the secret sauce.
Yeah. Damn, my expectations are met, which
Yeah.
I always like a group that I hold in such high regard. You always have that fear that the next one is going to be the one that doesn't hit, or the next one's going to be the one that doesn't meet expectations. They somehow did it again.
They did it.
I'm floored. This is a great track. I mean,
Yeah.
go
They
ahead,
use
Therese, yeah.
empty space so well in their music.
Oh man, yeah. The transition from like the pre-chorus to the chorus is so tight. That was amazing. The like melodies on this track were like hitting in all the right ways.
Mm-hmm.
The rap from Coconut was on fire. That was like that was like my pop off moment. I was like, this is so sick. Man. Yeah. I mean, after going through and listening through to XG right now, like it's hard to really put my like head around it, but man, if this is the lead off track, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the rest of the album might be up there.
Their last track on the album. So
Oh, it's the last track.
It's the title track, but it is the last track.
Oh, so
I assume
okay.
it's the title
Okay.
track, actually. I don't know. It's
Well.
got to be, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of them, there's only 2 on here that we hadn't listened to, so I'm curious. Oh wait, no, one of these was the cipher, right? X-Gene? No.
The X Gene, we can listen to it real quick if you want to
Jump over
Yeah.
this.
for it real quick, Brandon. It's a short song. Not that. Weird.
Oh.
Well,
new DNA visualizer.
yeah,
No.
just search X Gene.
X-Gene. Yeah.
This one, I guess. We'll do this
Yeah,
one.
that first one. I know this is basically just like a short like rap track that's on
Okay, well.
it is on the EP, but it's very good.
Do you want to listen to this now and then we'll talk about Puppet Show, or
We can wrap up the puppet show
Okay.
comments before we get into this. Do you have any additional thoughts?
I mean, I just think very similarly to like Left Right, I think they were able to capture that magic in this song, but like throw it at like full throttle, which I didn't think they were gonna like. I had no expectations going into that song, but I think like for really getting kind of a crash course on XG over this past like 2.5 hours, I mean, for me it's like that song was like took everything that I already liked about XG and just were like, they're like, what are we gonna do? And they were like, yes. And I said, but what are you gonna do? And they're like, yes. And I was like, okay, bet. And then I listened to it and I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, they really just like tapped into like the potential of all of their songs that I've listened to in terms of the MVs and the ciphers and stuff. But I think they made it in such a like palatable way where I feel like if you hadn't listened to K-pop at all and that might be the first track that you get introduced, like that is just a fucking whirlwind of a track, which in like the best way possible. And I think there's like some really cool like modern melodies that you can kind of attribute to like modern pop music here in the States that like hit super well. There's some other like more like club stuff, like club like banger sort of stuff going on in the track, but I just think it's really like really nuanced, and I think it makes me excited to like really delve into more of their stuff. I feel like we pretty much have touched all of it now at this point, um yeah, like it was cool to kind of experience it all in like one fluid shot. Like I feel like I don't think there was anything I really, other than this X Gene that we haven't listened to yet. Like, I mean, I feel like I pretty much have a basis for like XG being up there with some of my favorite groups that we've talked about here on the show. I mean, like, it's crazy how much they mix genres in a way where I guess it's like unconventional, but in the same way it's like way more like malleable in the concept of like modern pop music. Like I think I could throw this on with like another pop track and people will be like, yo, who's this? I don't know who this is. This is sick. I like this. Or like I've been listening to like a lot of Keshi, and I've been listening to like all of his older stuff, and like I can find like some like R&B and like that sort of influence in it. Obviously I know they're probably in two separate lanes, but like kind of finding the parallels of that. So I don't know, that was my rant kind of, but I really like this Public Show is great. I think that's one song that I would send to new people that like be like, this is a song you should check out even if you don't like K-pop. I think you'll love this song.
Yeah, I didn't consider that. This is probably their most K-pop-ish song outside of Shooting Star, I guess.
Sure,
but
yeah.
even that one's kind of different. But it is very palatable to K-pop. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's very approachable. Like if I was gonna send somebody an XG song to like try to like ease them into XG or K-pop in general, after Left Right, it would probably be this.
Agreed.
I still love Shooting Star, but I
Shooting
know it's
Star is
not
popped
like
off, yeah.
But it's very like you have to want to listen to music to listen to that track. Otherwise, like Left Right. Yes, true. Yeah, Left Right, New Dance, all of these would be pretty good hopping off points that don't seem K-poppy. We keep saying K-pop, but I don't think it
I don't think it
it's
is.
so confusing. Yeah.
I feel like they
it's
blur
marketing.
the line.
It's marketing as K-pop.
I feel like they blur the lines. Like I don't think it's like I don't feel like it's inherently like K-pop. Like
we're in that time where global groups are becoming a thing, and there's already a new one out from the Stray Kids company that was made with Americans. So yeah, like nobody knows anymore. K-pop doesn't exist.
Brandon knows that's the group I've been rushing home by 9 p.m. to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, sorry, I gotta get home. And I was like,
yeah.
What, you have like a curfew or something? He's like, no, I gotta watch the show. And I was like, okay. I was like,
it's true.
Real talk.
And there's going to be another one coming out probably at the end of this year. So it's kind of crazy. Like we're in completely new territory.
I respect it.
I think it's a conversation that kind of has like no end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether you want to decide about whether they're K-pop or not. I think the way I look at it is they're K-pop in every sense that they want to be.
I would agree. Yeah.
And not K-pop in whatever means they don't want to be. You know what I mean? Like I guess you can probably criticize or have issue with their producer, their team for the way they're going about things, but they're using the K-pop system for its benefits, and they're being smart about the promotion and clear about what they want to do, and they're using it as a tool to help them achieve what they want to achieve. And I don't think that they're doing anything to negatively impact the K-pop industry in that in that, you know, strive to get where they want to go. I think it's like a mutually beneficial relationship, right?
Yeah.
Because you have XG. If you have XG pop off in the US, all that's going to do is help filter more K-pop fans, right? Because they're never going to get away, no matter what happens, they're never going to get away from having a K-pop adjacent fan base, no matter what.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
It's the same, like, I can't think of another good example, but let's talk like BTS. They have a lot of fans that aren't or weren't familiar with K-pop because of their songs, like, you know, being all over the radio, going viral, being very famous, that, you know, I'm sure, Therese, you have some sort of better idea than I do, but there has to be a hell of a lot of people that got filtered into K-pop from Butter and Dynamite, right?
Yeah, but it's like, yes, but I don't think people are into K-pop because of that. I think they're just aware. So it's
Fair,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I listen to Dynamite, I listen to Butter, I like BTS, but they didn't say I like K-pop. They just said, oh yeah, this is the artist I like. And then if
Fair,
you
yeah.
ask them about any other K-pop tracks, they have no idea what you're talking about. Kind of like that.
You think that's the vast majority of that filter?
Right now, yes. Yeah, because
Okay.
a lot of the people that did get into K-pop after getting into BTS are no longer like BTS fans. That's what they say. Like, oh, I used to be into BTS. I'm like, that's not how it works, but okay. But yeah, and then like now they're filtering in through the other like multi fandoms.
Sure. Yeah. I also
yeah.
feel like possibly too, like, I mean, obviously I knew about like K-pop through the BTS, like Blackpink. Like, I mean, obviously those weren't genres that I tapped into until like, I don't know, like 6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer now at this point. But I obviously knew about them because they have a global presence, you know, and they're, you know, they do a lot of stuff with like, you know, major label artists here. So I think there is that kind of synergistic nature where like those people are those groups are popular because they are known by a mass media, where I feel like XG might be able to kind of cross that middle ground of like, okay, yeah, there are going to be K-pop fans that enjoy XG, but I'd also argue that there's like people that are in the rap scene that would probably like XG. There are people in pop scene that would like XG, where I think they have more of a multifaceted level of fandom, or maybe not fandom, but just fans in general of the
They
group.
have a wider reach.
Because they have a wider reach, exactly. Their net
Yeah.
is much larger, where I feel like if you look at like BTS, you're like, oh god, like I don't know, like I don't know if I'm a K-pop fan like that, unless you're like naming out like a deep cut BTS track or like a deep cut BTS album, then you're like, I know you're a true BTS fan because you not say Dynamite or Butter, you know, as like being your favorite track, you know. At least that's how I quantify like heavy music. If people tell me like, yeah, I enjoyed this song, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, I'm glad you got into it because of that song. But then like some other person would come around and be like, well, actually I got into him because of this older song, and then you're like, okay, I know that person is like a fan, you know, because they listed a song that's like not a title track and B, not like a music video track, it's like a deep cut, and you're like, I respect that, you know. So I kind of find the similarities between like a BTS or a Blackpink, where if someone mentions like an OG track that most people might not know, I would have more of a respect, I guess, for them because they've been in it for a while. Where I feel like now K-pop as a genre has become more recognizable or more known across the world, as opposed to just being, I guess, sectioned off to like Asia.
And that's kind of the but that's the first step, is just being recognizable, because now that people will recognize it, they'll know where to look.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It'll get a lot more fans that way. So the marketing is really, really smart.
Popped off. They're doing great.
Yeah.
But I think we should get into X-Gene. And this is the last song that we need to listen to, right, Alex?
Yeah, there's a very, very quick little like intro track on the EP, but it's not really it's not like a musical track. It's kind of just a intro.
All right. Well, let's get into X-Gene.
So, yeah, X-Gene.
XG, born with action beta testing. New chapter go hard everlasting. Alpha 2, mega level, set it off. Ain't no limit matter gimmicks, we gon' be on it, keeping it 100. Love it or hate it, whether you ready or native. Planet invaded, all day, every day we explain it. Gladiator, money, not entertainment. Me to the D, they roll. Fresh out the extraordinary, whoa. Intergalactical, tactical flow. Going ballistic and out of this world. Cosmic, stun, fihu, none. Back up, 7, equal, 1. They wanna know if it's a hit or a miss. Shoot for the stars and we land on the heads. Don't mess with the taking, you know it's for last. We like to know that none of that gets. Action, yeah, we born with the action. New chapter, next scene. Go hard, effortlessly, come test me. Action, yeah, we born with the action. New chapter, next scene. Go hard, effortlessly, don't test me.
Reach for the stars when you follow the light.
Ooh.
Take me to the other side. Levitate up to the sky.
Synchronizing.
Howling the start from where we are. Endlessly shine in the dark. Shine in the dark.
Ooh, that's good.
That ending.
Okay,
man.
I really like it. I keep getting like trauma, I guess, from seeing the 1 minute 30 seconds or something. Because I wish it's always a song that I wish was longer, but this song is the perfect length.
Yeah, it hits like it packs like the perfect punch. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just good enough where like it goes really hard from the start. Everyone gets like a really what feels like at least the rappers get like really good time on the track.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you get really good, especially. I feel like I'm gonna point her out anytime there's like a song or a cipher she's in, but Coconuts rap is so good.
She's
It's
great.
so good.
Yeah, she's
Like,
awesome.
obviously she's good, but man, that low tone she brings, especially
Yes.
like the later, I feel like it gets a little bit lower as like later you get in discography,
Ooh,
which
yeah.
is her leaning into it, which
Oh
it's
my
so good.
God.
It stands out so much.
It's like if you ever watched Dechita, which I know you haven't, Brendan, but if we were ever going to get into a BTS related thing, I would suggest August D as an artist.
Okay.
But
I love
there's
that
a
song.
section of Dechita where he's like doing some really good like rap, and then at some point he drops off and he goes into a whisper rap. And that's the
Ooh,
same
yeah.
tone that she brings, where it's like it just gives you that like anti-drop, honestly.
I respect it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
That melody.
She's for
at
sure
the
my
end-
bias.
That melody at the end. Oh, that's
Oh,
it.
it's so good. Oh, yeah.
The
Ooh.
layering on that was like.
I'm gonna eat this album up, I can tell.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to fit this album into my Keshi listening experience because I literally put all of his albums on like a Spotify playlist and I've just been running through them nonstop. So some might say I might be a Keshi
interesting-
fanboy right now, but
Ooh.
Just
It's
missed
interesting
his
that
tournament.
we started, or this released today, right? On a Wednesday?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's not, because usually the release day for Korean time is Mondays, and then the release day for Americans is
it's
Fridays.
Fridays. Yeah.
So this is interesting.
Yeah. Wednesday. Yeah. Maybe
Why
they
this
just wanted
day?
to pop off on a Wednesday. I respect it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we popped off on a Wednesday, so I'm feeling it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. No, this
The
was
more,
great.
yeah, I'm glad we did this deep dive because now I'm like 1,000 times more excited for XG as a group.
And now,
Yeah,
so
I'm ready to sell my soul for a ticket. When
Yeah,
they finally
I might buy the album now. I might
Should.
buy this album.
Alex is like, I might have to
Go
buy.
pick up.
Yeah,
Go pick
What,
up your
no?
XG albums, everyone.
I work
Wow.
right next to the K-pop store. My paycheck goes
Ayo,
directly
yeah.
deposit.
Man, that would be
Therese
so
actually just
dangerous.
hands over her check to the K-pop store.
Yeah,
She's like, here you go. I don't have no use for it.
here you go.
Yeah. Oh my god. And so that was all of it. We listened to all the songs on the album
Other than the intro track.
other
yeah.
than the
Yeah,
intro
other than
track.
the intro
Okay,
track.
yeah. Wow.
Did we listen to all of their songs, period? I think we did.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Crushed it. Good job.
Yeah.
Wow, good
Thank you,
job,
Alex,
guys.
Alex.
Full
Let's go.
discography.
We did it.
Full discography. We did it.
Here's a funny little anecdote. This song X Gene is the first XG song to not have a music video right now.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
They would have had to have recorded in a minute and a half music video.
They did it for Girl Gang.
They did go for Girl Gang, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's possible.
They did.
And you know what? We might get one. So I don't want to speak.
That's
too
true.
soon.
Yeah, don't.
When it started, I was kind of thinking it was going to be a lore track the way that it
like
started.
an alien lore
but-
track.
The
Yeah.
intro. The intro. Is,
Yeah, it was a little like I didn't realize we were going to dive into this.
Yeah. The intro. Is it like up there? Do you want to just like play it real quick?
Is it?
It's
Hisonu,
Hisonu.
Hisunu. Yeah. Okay.
It's Hesono, and that is their like group chant they do together before they go on stage.
Oh.
Welcome.
We already went through XG. We already are welcome.
Phase initiated.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Accessing
Ooh.
the mainframe.
Ooh.
7. Life forms detected. Accessing. Hibernation deactivated.
We got like whale sounds going on here.
That's just Maya.
Main sequence initiated.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
okay.
that's hype. That's hype. I've been kind of off of the intro tracks. Just get me to the actual album. But this, okay.
That kind of
This
puts
is
you in the mood.
probably, yeah, this is kind of a TMI, but I've been listening to a lot of ASMR before I go to bed because it's like I can't go to sleep in silence. It's weird. And my favorite
With you.
ASMR lately has
Yeah.
just been like sci-fi ASMR, where you hear all of the like beeping and the glitching and even just like spaceship sounds.
I need to know about your dreams.
Oh, they're always fun. I think I actually dreamed last night that I was hanging out with Hayen from New Jeans. Yeah. Hayen?
Hanging out.
Every-
Yeah, there's
yeah.
Hayen and Hey, I don't know. But yeah, we were hanging out. I forgot what the premise was, but I think we were having a sleepover.
That's nice.
You also sleep
Yeah.
with those lights on because you look like you're in space right now.
I do.
Yeah.
I
You
do.
Kinda, you kind of.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out with
Flex.
Puppet Show.
You did. Yeah. It was
The
a good mood.
Aurora Borealis.
To
Yeah.
paint a picture for you, Therese, that intro goes straight into X Gene.
Yeah. I could tell. I could tell they were
Yeah,
connected.
yeah. The
That's
song
really
says-
good.
It is such a good lineup.
I kind of wish they were the same song. Like I wish they were one track together, and then it would be a
Kinda-
perfect 2:30.
Same, except for, I think that if they do a music video for X Gene, they should include that in the
That
beginning.
intro. Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably
But
will.
I don't. But when I listen to X Gene in like a Spotify playlist with like other like rap or like hip hop
Mhm.
tracks, I don't want that minute.
That intro. Yeah.
Intro,
the intro part.
probably.
Yeah, sure. I respect that.
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
But you know,
Have you guys watched a lot of the like album movies that have come out from like Halsey or Melanie Martinez or it's a trend that I've noticed in pop where there's a pretty lengthy album that a pop artist released that's under a certain theme. It's a themed album, but like they release a movie for it, which is basically a story that uses all of those songs in it.
Oh, sick.
And
Okay.
I think XG would do really well if they released one of those.
I mean, I would be on board. That sounds sick.
Oh yeah. I mean, they already have all the music videos for it, but like so do all the pop girlies. Halsey
Yeah.
has music videos for all those songs too, but having a full like movie to watch, pretty cool.
I think that a lot of people are genuinely wondering from like some of the circles that I'm in and stuff that I've seen, like if they're going to do some kind of like hard commit to a concept or like hard commit to like some sort of storyline, or they're gonna do a short film, or they're gonna release like a comic or something, because
That would be kinda cool.
Oh, yeah.
They've put out so much like rich visual food for everyone. You know what I mean? With like all their like all we really know
The
is that-
styling is crazy.
right, and all we really know from what I know, I mean, you can pick up some things here and there from the videos, but all we really know is they're 7 alien girls who are basically like, you take like New Dance. It's just them like having fun, like on Earth, like playing around and just like, experimenting. You have like the whole thing with Girl Gang, which is them like with like tech and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
TGIF, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I don't know. Alien drugs.
Hell
with
yeah.
all of the it's more apparent in Girl Gang, but they each have their own kind of like power, and it's consistent across the music videos.
Right.
So,
So
that's
there's
yeah, that's
clearly
cool.
like there is some planning. We know that, right? Like
Yeah.
there's somebody in the team is like has it drawn up, has it figured out. There's some kind of consistency there. So I'm just curious to see if they're gonna keep throwing stuff at the wall just as like, just good visuals, or they just want to like keep up with, it being interesting, or they're just leading to like something big, like some sort of
They could.
film,
Oh my god.
or
Like a four sign. Yeah, they could be doing that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Considering all the other groups that we've talked about. I mean, there is a lot of foreshadowing, so certainly don't want to read into it, but I also think there's a very good possibility that that could be the case as well.
Would die if I got to work with their creative team. That would be so cool.
oh my god.
I've worked on a couple of music festivals that had similar feels. I don't know if you've heard of Second Sky with Porter Robinson. But
Oh, that'd be sick.
yeah. So I'm deep in the creatives on music lately, and I'm like, oh man, please K-pop come through. Like, I have so many ideas, and there's actual like storylines to build off of.
You hear that? You hear
Like,
that?
zero.
XG, come on, hit up
Second
Therese.
Sky was sick.
Hit me up.
They would be awesome, especially as a guest for someone like a Porter Robinson festival.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, if I get to work with them, that would be amazing. Hit up Porter Robinson.
Let's go.
Telling me I could go to a festival where I can see Porter, Anamanaguchi, and XG at the same place.
Hell yeah.
I'd pop off. That'd be kind of hard. I'd respect that.
Yeah.
Man, well, yeah, XG was great. I'm glad we saved this. I know Alex has been chomping at the bit for us to do XG,
Yeah.
and we finally did it. It happened.
Oh, that's so fun. That's so cool.
We finally came full circle on that. So yeah, it was great. XG is fantastic. If you guys haven't checked out XG, I mean, you just hit the rewind on this, and watch the whole thing with us. But
Yeah, if you haven't checked out XG and you're watching this video, yes, you have.
I'm sorry. You might have had some of those alien drugs in those music videos, but no, it was great. This was a fantastic group. I'm glad. I feel like they're gonna be pretty up there in terms of my listening habits now. I feel like
What's your favorite song?
favorite song. Ooh, I'm gonna go back to the playlist real fast because I need to know. I'd probably still stick with Left Right. I still think that that's a fantastic track, though. I will say I think Puppet Show, like, again, I feel like I've kind of heard Left Right, and maybe that was just my intuition, but like Puppet Show being fresh, not even listening to it, I thought that song just like immediately from like frame one popped off. So I'd probably say Puppet Show is my favorite.
Yeah.
Honorable mention Left Right, though.
Cool.
Therese,
I'm
what
gonna
about your
say
favorite?
Shooting Star for sure.
Okay.
It's still my favorite. It still gives me all the tingles. But I don't love any other less.
They're all great. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I wanted to piggyback on that. Yeah, I don't think there is. I want to argue that there were not any bad songs. Even the cipher is like the vocal, like the cover that they did of Peaches, that was great too. Like
Crazy.
I think their entire catalog is like, I didn't think there was one song where I was like, I don't know if I was really feeling that one. Like I just think that all of the songs collectively were just from like 0 to 100 for all of them. So I enjoyed it. Did yours
They're so
change,
talented.
Alex? I know you said your favorite was New Dance.
I need more listens before I can
Before
make
you
that
pick.
decision.
Okay,
Fair.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Therese and I are just impromptu. We knew it right out the gate. Just saying. Yeah, we have that intuition. So.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well-
XG, great.
Such good stuff.
I don't know who we're doing next because we're kind of on a little bit of a break in terms of new releases from what I could gather. So
No, we are
There
maybe-
is one
No,
that
we're not.
I would
No?
suggest, but I don't know,
man.
if it would be too soon of a suggestion. There's a group called ONF. It's on and off. And they are a boy group that just got out of the military. They all went in together and they all came out together. And their comeback is pretty highly anticipated because they do really good music. It's kind of like, I want to say it's kind of a cappella style high dance. Yeah. They're fun guys.
threw me
Fun
off with
guys.
that one.
Yeah, that's
But,
that's a wild pick.
Yeah, they're coming out with a new release on October 4th.
Oh, around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a mini album, just 6 songs or so, but I'm excited. Other than that, lots of other groups. IVE is coming up with a new release on October 13th.
Ooh,
That'll probably be highly anticipated.
IVE could be a good one.
IVE could be a good one, yeah.
And Tomorrow by Together. I don't think you guys have talked about them much, but that's a little more deep in the trenches of boy groups.
They're one of my favorites.
Yeah. They're from the BTS company. Actually, my favorite BTS producer makes a lot of their music, so I love.
At least it's not
I love their,
another
their
BT.
stuff.
Oh wait, no, that's Blackpink. Sorry.
I love their angsty phase.
But yeah. And then Billy,
Billy,
17. A lot
yeah.
of big groups this month.
Oh,
Billy could be a good one to do if we're sort of.
Also, I
into,
don't know
like-
if you guys ever talked about Extraordinary Heroes. That's a band.
I don't think we've talked about
no,
them.
we have not. No.
I don't think
But-
I don't know what their fan base looks like, if people are really anticipating a reaction video or anything, but
I have
it's a
no
good band.
idea. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know anything about them other than the company that they're under.
I don't know
That's
anything.
fair. They're still really new, so it's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll run another poll.
Yeah.
we'll have to figure out.
I
what
think
we're
it'd
gonna do.
be a good time during the
Poll time.
October craziness.
October madness. This is our.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
October is
we're-
always the biggest month of releases.
Yeah,
I swear.
we're in pre-award show season crunch, so everyone's
Yeah,
trying
you
to get
did
their
say
songs
that,
out
yeah.
right now so that they can count for the award shows.
Oof.
And they're trying to basically what they do is they try to release the songs as late as possible so people vote on recency bias.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
But not too late so they still count for like this year's releases because it usually goes I think around the beginning of November, right? Ish.
That's when
from the
or
previous
actually
year.
end of October, I think, is when they really start.
It's like a cutoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like songs that were released after the end of October 2022 will be in the running for these awards coming up. So
Nice.
should be
All right.
interesting.
But I'm
should be-
still expecting New Jeans to sweep because I think they were outside of the cutoff when they started really popping off last year, or was that 2 years ago? Wait,
Last year.
that was last year,
Wait, I
right?
have one more thing. Yeah, it was last year. I have
Yeah.
one more thing to say about Puppet Show.
Oh yeah.
We all got immediate New Jeans vibes at the beginning.
Oh,
right?
for sure. Yeah. I was gonna say yeah.
like with the beat choice and everything,
Yep.
and like
Oh,
the
yeah.
minimalism in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Pink
first-
Pantheress.
The
Yeah,
Pink
the first
Panther.
thing I was like, okay, yeah, we're hopping on this like New Jeans like
Yeah. I didn't
respect
notice
it.
the city pop switch up until you mentioned it, and then I was like, oh yeah.
That's what I said. I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
I
the
was like,
City Pop.
oh.
It was nice. I liked it. Yeah, they didn't have to do it.
I love it.
They didn't have to do it, but they did it, so I respect that. But yeah, let us know, guys, who we should do next. I feel like we have a lot coming up, and I've only been asking Alex what he's been doing, and then he reflects the question back to me since I'm the one who does a lot of shit. So we will probably be ramping up more live stuff. So make sure to check back with the channel for more, or if you're watching this live now. Thank you for watching live. Follow if you haven't. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. That'd be awesome. And if you'd like to see Therese back, because we'd love to have her back on again. And maybe we'll have her on for Stray Kids or something. I don't know. Or if she wants to come on, she's always welcome. So, doors open.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for watching. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.